Hello and welcome everyone. So in this particular video, we are going to implement this awesome looking industry level e-commerce application from scratch using Mern. We will be using React, Redux Toolkit, Node.js Express and MongoDB, and we are going to implement a lot of features. We also will be having a completely separate admin panel where admin will be able to manage products, create a new product and manage order status. In the shopping view, we are going to implement product listing, checkout page, and also PayPal payment integration. I'm pretty sure that you'll be learning a lot of things in this particular video. So what we are going to do, right? I will be giving a completely demo in each and every details that all the features and functionality that we are going to build. And after this, we will be getting started. So let's get started and good luck. Alright, so let's go through with the demo in details. So as you can see that this will be our shopping view homepage. So we will be having two view. One will be for the normal users and then one will be for the admin view. So let's start with the admin view first. So for admin user, there will be only one super admin. So super admin can access to the dashboard, products and orders. In the dashboard, super admin can basically upload images, and whatever image they will upload, you can see that these images will be reflected in our homepage of the shopping view. Then admin user can add a new product. So let's say I'll try to add a new product. Here for the uploading image, we are going to use Cloudinary. So here I'll select an image. Let's select this one and I'll give this one name as kids t-shirt. Okay, and let's give some description. We'll give some category. We'll give some brand. Price I'll give 500 and sales price I'll give 250 and total stock is, let's give this one as 5. Now I'll add this product. So this product is already added. Now let's go to our shopping view, and here you can see that we will be able to obviously shop by category and by brand, and whatever you will basically select here, it will automatically go to the product listing page and it will apply the filter, and based on that you'll be able to see the filter products. So first let's go to our all products, and you can see that just now we added this particular product. So this product is now visible, and you can see that you are getting this banner. This for this product only 5 items is left. Okay, so now here you can see that on the left side we'll be having the category filter, and on the right side we'll be having the sort. So we'll be able to sort using price and also using title. Okay, and for category, so let's say if I apply for men, it will automatically filter. You can see that for women, for kids and other things, it will automatically filter all of these. Okay, and similarly it will be for brand also, it will filter. Okay, now here let's see one more thing, and that is the details view. So the first thing, if you click on any of the product, you can see that the details view will open on form of this dialog, and here you'll be able to basically give the product and you will be able to give the review for this particular product, but there is some certain condition that I'm going to discuss later. So here you'll be able to add a new product. So let's add this product. This product is now added and this is also updated here. Let's add one more time, 4, 5, and now see if you try to add one more time, you can see that only 5 quantity can be added for this particular item. So now we'll go to the cart page, and from here we'll be able to go to the checkout page. So from here you can see that we'll be having in the checkout page we will be having the address section, and the right side will be showing the cart page, and then you'll be able to check out using PayPal. If you don't have any address, you also will be able to add a new address from here, or else you can directly go to the account page, and from here we'll be having the orders and the address section. Alright, now let's go to our checkout page, and here you can see that if you try to check out, so you need to select any address to proceed. So let's select this address, and now I'm going to click on checkout with PayPal. So now it will automatically trigger the PayPal payment, and for this one we are going to use the sandbox, and then or else we can directly continue to review, because I already logged in, that is the reason we are showing this part. So now it will automatically go back, it will process, and if this is successful, you can see that payment is now successful, and you will be able to go to the view orders. And once you go down, you can see that the payment is now confirmed, and some of the payment will be getting rejected or will be in the pending state. On click of this, you'll be able to see the view details. And now if you go to the admin view, and let's go to the orders, and you can see that scroll down, you'll see this is the latest order just now we placed. Click on view details, and admin will be able to update the order status. I'll do this one to delivered, and now let's click on update order status. You can see that this is updated here, and if you just go back and refresh this page, you can see that the last part will be automatically updated to delivered. Okay, so this is all the feature. Now let's go to our products page. Alright, now you can see that in this product we already just now bought. So now this product is already out of stock, and if I now click here, and you can see that I'll be able to review it because I bought this product. So that is the condition. So let's give a 5-star, and I'll give awesome product, and let's submit. And you can see that now you are able to add this product and you'll be able to see the review. Okay, also we have implemented the feature of global search. So if I go to the search page, so you'll be able to search product using title, description, category and brand. I'll search for something product, and you'll see that automatically data will be coming here, and from this page also you'll be able to see the details. You will be able to add cart and everything. Alright, so now this is all the features that we are going to basically implement for this particular project. We will be using a lot of things like React, Redux Toolkit for managing state, Tailwind CSS, CN, and a lot of other features. So this will be a very long video, so take your time and then try to implement all the things. And also one more thing, like I've given a lot of effort while creating this video. So if you like this video, please give a like and comment down. So the target for comment is 1000 comment and 10,000 likes, and I'm pretty sure that you'll learn a lot of things. So let's get started and good luck. Alright everyone, so let's get started. So there are a lot of things that we need to do definitely. So first we will basically install all the packages that are required for this particular project, and then after that we will start step by step. Alright. So what I've done, right, I created a folder. So first thing, we will be creating both our client side or basically our React project. So for React we are going to use Vite, and also the server side configuration, and also we need to install the dependencies. So what I'm going to do, right, so first let's copy this path, and I'm going to open a command line and first navigate to this path. Okay, and then what we are going to do, right, so here let's create a folder. First what I'll do, right, I think we already have project, so let's create one more folder here, and I'll give this one name as Mern YouTube codes. Okay, and then let's navigate to this folder, YouTube codes, and then I'm going to open this one in VS Code, and there only we are going to do everything step by step. So now first thing, I think what I've done, right, I'll be using the following structure so that it will be side by side and it will be easy to understand. So let keep it like this. Okay, the first thing, we will create two folder here. So first one will be our client side, and then second one will be our server. Now again, as I already mentioned, right, so whatever things that we are going to learn, all the concepts and everything, we will be learning by using example, and that way it will be easy to learn all the concepts, right? So first thing what we need to do, right, so first let's install all the packages that are required for the server. Now I already have some packages here that I'm going to discuss, that what are the basic things that we need. So first we need bcrypt.js. So this is basically to hash your password and everything. Then we need Cloudinary. So this we are going to use for our image upload using Multer. Okay, then we need the cookie parser, chords, .nav, .env, then Express, JSON web token, Mongoose for our MongoDB database connection. So these all the things we need. But before that, whenever we will create any project on the backend side, or basically you will be creating a Express server, so what we are going to do, right, we need to basically create our first package.json. So how we are going to do that? So first I'm going to open this folder in our terminal. Okay, and now here what you need to do, right, you need to basically create some configuration. And how we are going to do that? So first there is a shortcut that it will automatically create, and that is npm init -y. So if I hit enter, right, it will create all the configuration or basically package.json automatically. But here if you just do npm init, now here it will ask you some of the things that you basically can configure. So first it asking for package name, so I'll keep this on a server. Then version you can keep like 1.0.0 as it is. Description you can give some description. Entry point index.js, so later you can basically change this one, that is also fine. And then we are having like test command, git repository you can give keywords, author you can give my name, let's say I'll give my name here. Okay, these things you can configure. License you can keep it like this. If this is okay, just do yes and hit enter. Now you see that there is a package.json is created. Now what you can do, right, you can change a couple of things like main what are the things that you like, which file will be your main, what are the scripts that you need to run, and all those things. Now the first thing what we are going to do, first I will install some of the dependencies that are required, right? So I'll start with, so I'll do npm install, and obviously you need to go to the server folder, and inside the server folder you need to create. So as I already told you, we need our bcrypt.js. so let's copy this from here, because see, some of the things I will go little first. If you're not able to understand, then you can basically directly comment, or you can join my Discord server also. So there people basically will discuss, and if you have any doubt, I will also able to help you. Or you can also message me directly on LinkedIn, in LinkedIn, or basically on Instagram. If I get time, I'll be able to help you. But the reason why I will go little first, because in this project we are going to do lot of features. Once we'll start, right, you'll be able to understand, but we will be doing everything, each and everything step by step. But I'm going to go little first. If it is difficult to understand, you can basically decrease the playback speed on YouTube, or you can watch the section multiple times, okay, and that will be very, very helpful. So these all the things that you can do. Next, I'll install Cloudinary. So this is for our image upload, right? Then we have our cookie parser, give space cookie parser. Then we need our quotes. Then we have .env, okay. Then we have express. We also need JSON web token. We need mongoose. We need multer. For basically we will be using both multer and Cloudinary to save our image in the Cloudinary space, okay. And also we need nodemon, and also I think this will be more than enough. So now what you can do, right, hit enter. Now you can also install all of this nodemon as a dev dependency, but this is fine. Also one more thing I want to mention, like this project will be a beginner point of view, right? So we are not going to do everything very difficult, some of the features and everything. I'll create this video in such a way that it will help you in so many ways, and after completing this course you'll be able to understand it, okay. Now what we are going to do, right, see, another thing is that whenever I'll be pushing this code to GitHub, I'm not going to push the node modules, right, because we have a lot of dependencies and everything, and there is no point of doing that, because your package.json will hold all the configuration and everything that is needed. So for this one, what we need to do, we need to create a git ignore file to tell that what are the things I don't want to push whenever I will be deploying this application or push this code to the GitHub. So here what you can do, right, just create a git ignore file, okay. And in this file what you need to do, basically first you explain that I don't want to push the node module, so you'll give node -module. So this I don't want to push. Also let's say if you created an env file, that also I don't want to push, and also if there is a dist folder, that also I don't want to push. So these three things is the first thing that we needed. Alright, so this configuration is done. Now next thing what we need to do, right, we need to basically create our main server.js. So from where it will be our entry point, correct? So here what I'm going to do inside this, let's do one thing, let's create a file here. So I'm going to create server.js, okay. So this will be our main file from where, or this can be your entry point. Now what you can do, right, you can go to package.json, and whatever name that you have given, you can basically change it. So in our case it will be server.js. So now here first thing we need to connect to our database. But to connect to your database, what are the things that we need to do? First we need a database setup, and also we need to create our express, right? So those things we are going to do. First let's go to our MongoDB, and here what I'm going to do, right, I'll create a new project. So first you need to just logged in your MongoDB Atlas. Once you'll come here, you need to basically go to, I think if you scroll down you'll get a new project. So click here, and then give any name. So what we can give, like I will give like YouTube Mern complete course 2024, and here you need to I think you can select like whether this is application or not, something like that, and you can also select some value and click on next, right? And now click on create project. Now this will take some time. Now quite a few things you need to do. First you need to create a cluster. So what basically this does, right, this will create a configuration, and I'll show you that how we are going to do that. And also you need to do some certain things like how you can do network access and those things. You need to whitelist your current IP. So now first create a cluster, so click on create. Now you can see that here basically you can select the option. So obviously we are going to do for free for now. You can give the name and what provider that you can do and what is the region. Okay, so for this one I'll keep AWS, and I don't want to change this one, so I'll keep it like this. And here you can also keep some tag like whether this is application or something, and some value you can give, whatever, but I think it's not that much important. Now you need to click on create deployment. So now what we'll do, MongoDB will start deployment and it will do all the configuration and everything, right? So I'll click on create deployment. Now this will take some time. Okay, now I need to do something. Okay, let me do it. Alright, so now they will deploy the changes. This will take some time. First thing what you need to do, see here you need to add your current IP address, so that also I'm going to show you how you can do that. And you need to create a database user, and this will be your admin user. So you have the username and you have the password. So I'll copy this. And also one more thing, please try to create your own username and own password. Don't use my URL. Okay, I'm not going to post it also, but I'll highly recommend don't use this one. Try to create your own. I'm going to give 2024 as my password. And now click on okay, first you need to create the database user. So create here. Now click on choose a connection. Here you can see that we have this MongoDB for VS Code, and this is the exact thing that we need. So first I'm going to, okay, now this will take some time. Let me do one thing. I'm going to close this. Now let's go to network access. Now here you need to go, sometimes you might face some issues, right? And if you see there are some timeout issues and everything, that means your MongoDB is not getting connected. So what you need to do, first you need to come to this network access and you need to check whether you have whitelisted your current IP address or not. If not, you need to add it. But what I'm going to do, right, for this one, I'll click on IP address and I'm going to do allow access from anywhere, but you should not do this one. Okay, so I'm going to do this because we are doing a like kind of tutorial project, so that is the reason. So I'm click on allow access from anywhere and I'll click on confirm. Now this will also take some time. So till this is done, right, there are quite a few things we need to do. First we will basically configure our front end. Now here what I'm going to do, right, I'll remove this one, this client folder I'm remove, and then I'll do everything from scratch. So remove this. Now I'm going to open our this one in a terminal. Now if you notice that we have a server folder, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a client folder, and for this one I'm going to use vite. So now first come here and you need to use this npm create vite latest. So copy this, paste it here, and now it will ask for the project name. Now again you can give any name you want because we are creating a Mern, so we have a client side and the server side. So I'm going to keep this one name as client. So I'll use React, we'll use JavaScript. And now once this is done, so this will basically see how fast this is. It's already created all the config, but you need to install all the packages. So if you go to the package.json, you have some of the things like dependencies and everything. So those we don't have, correct? So here now what I'm going to do, so first go to client folder. So I'm going to cd and then I'll do client, and now I'm going to do npm install. What this will do, this will install all the dependencies and everything that is required. And after that I'm going to install our Tailwind CSS, and also we are going to use SADCN for our component library. So both I'm going to install. Now if I go here, right, let's go to our database and let's see if this is done or not. Cluster is ready to use. Now what you can do, click on connect and click on MongoDB for database. Now this will give you a URL, and this is the exact thing you need to do, but we need to change this password here, right, with your password that you have created. So let's copy this and let's go to our server.js. Now here you can create a different folder with database also, that is fine, but later we are going to modify all of this. But now I'm going to start everything from scratch and line by line that what are the things we will do. So first we need to create an express server, right? Now to create an express server you need to create an app. So first thing what you need to do, always you need to create your app, and this is our app, and here I'm going to use express, but we need express, right? So first we need to import it. So we'll do const express and this will be require. So you need to import express. Now this will automatically create an express application, right? And this is the top level function exported by the express module. Now what you need to do, whenever we'll run when application will run, it will run a particular port, right? Just like your client side application run on a particular port, your backend or server will also run on a particular port. So what I'm going to do right here, so we'll do const, and here I'm going to do port, and I'll do process.env, right, and dot port. So if this is port is already there, it will take from that, or else we are going to keep this on port as 5000. So that means your backend server will run at 5000. This is very important. Now next thing what we're going to do, we also need our mongoose. So here I'm going to take mongoose and I'll do require. So we need our mongoose. Now what you need to do, you need to create a database connection. Now again I'm repeating here, I'll also mention that you can also create a separate file for this and then import or use that file here. That is also fine, and that is better way, but I just want to show you how we are going to do that. See, the first thing is that mongoose will help you to connect this server with your database, right? Because you need to save your information to the database. So first you need to use this mongoose, and this will give you this connect method. Now what this will does, this will take the URL of this database, URL that we are having here. It will return a promise, right? And once the promise is getting resolved, that means you have successfully connected your server, or basically your server side database connection is successful, as simple as that. So I'm going to copy this from here. Now here I'm going to paste it. Now again, that part I'm going to do later for now. So we'll create an env file, and then we'll use all of this in an env file. But now I'm going to copy this, and then instead of this db password, you need to change with the password. And my password for me, I think the password was 2024. Okay, save it, and after this what we'll do, this will return a promise, and then we'll simply log here that MongoDB connected. All right, if there is any error, so we are going to log that. All right, so this is done. So now that means what you are doing, right? First you are connecting to your database. You have created an app which is invoking the express, and now what we need to do, we need to do a couple of things. So first thing, we need to use here the cookie parser, so that will help to parse the cookies that we are going to use. Then also we need to configure some of the quotes related things, and that is very important, or else you'll get some error. Okay, quotes related error. So here I'm going to do, right? So first I'm going to use our cookie parser. This also I'm going to do require. This will be your cookie parser. Also I'm going to need our quotes, which will be require quotes. So both the things we need. After this I'm going to do, so this app will give you some property, use property, right? And this use property, you can basically mention some of the things, that what are the things that this app is going to use, as simple as that. Now here we are going to configure our quotes. Now what we are going to configure in quotes, right? So this part I'm going to show you, but before that we need to go to client. Now you see how I'm creating, so that it will be easy for you to understand like how things are connected with each other. So now what I'll do, right? So let's go to our client. I think it's already done, right? Okay, node modules, it's already done. So now what I'm going to do, right? This client I'm going to run in npm run dev, and see what will happen. So this will run on a port, and if you notice the port is 5173. So let's open this one. So that means your client side project is running on 5173, and this is the thing that you need to mention to your codes, that okay, whenever I will be running, I want to run my client side on this 5173 port, and this is the thing that you need to give your origin here. Okay, so this is your origin. Then you need to mention the methods, that what are the methods you want to use. So you have get we have post, we have delete, and we have put, right? And after this you can also mention some of the headers that you are going to use. So allowed headers, and here you can basically mention all the things, like we are going to use content type, we are also going to use authorization, we are going to use cache control, right? And also we are going to use expires, and also we are going to use pragma. Now I'm going to discuss all of this, why we are doing all of this, and at the end we are going to basically mention that we are going to use credentials. So these will basically help us in our login and registration part. So this credential we are going to keep as true. So this will be our course configuration. We have added the origin, which origin this will use, basically what are the methods we are going to use, the headers property, you can add all other properties also, and credentials will be true, this credential property. After this you are going to tell your app that okay, use, now you already use the course, so now you need to also use the cookie parser, okay? And also you will be telling that use express.json. Once this is done, after this you need to run your server. But how you are going to run it? So to run this one, you need to run the server on a port. So this port you need to run. So this app will give you a method that is called listen. So you are basically telling that okay, now all the configuration is done, so now you need to listen to this particular port, and for us the port will be 5000 for now. So I'll pass the port here, and then here I'm going to do, right? So let's log here console.log, and we'll tell server is now running on port, and then I'm going to pass the port here, and this is done. Alright, so now you have created your basic server configuration. Now we are going to basically do some of the things that we needed. The first thing is that we need to go to our package.json, and we need to basically tell that which file, we need to go to the package.json of server, not client, that what will be our some of the scripts that we need to add, that which will be our start file and those things. So here you need to add a start script, right? So you need to add a start script, and which file is your start or entry point. If you noticed, your server.js is your entry point, so you need to mention here server.js, okay? And also you need to add another, that the dev server we are going to use. So for this one we already use nodemon, so we already use nodemon. So nodemon will basically run your server continuously. You no need to basically every time if you make changes on the server side, right? So you no need to run the command to get the updated data. So nodemon will automatically run that for us. And here, so you've added a dev script, so you're telling that run this script using nodemon, but you need to tell that which file you want to run. So in our case this will be server.js. Now let's save it, and now we need to run this server. And if we run this, and if this is successful, what will happen, right? You will be able to see the server is now running, and also you'll be able to see that MongoDB's database is connected. So now what I'm going to do, right, I'll open this one, and here I'm going to first go to cd server, and if you see we have our this script, right, dev. So we need to do npm run dev, hit enter, and let's see what is happening. Now you can see that we are getting that nodemon is now running the server.js file, and you have a now server is already running. Now MongoDB is also connected, so both the things are done, right? Awesome. So now you see that what are the things you learned, that how you can create your main server.js file, how you can create an express server, and then how you can configure course and everything, and also how you can create a simple MongoDB database to use or basically connect your MongoDB database with your express server. So everything, the basic level of setup is done. So now we need to go to our client side, and we need to install some of the packages that we needed. So now let's go to our client folder. Okay, let's go here. So now I'm going to go to client, and if you noticed here I already have, so we need our Redux toolkit because we are going to use Redux. We also need React Redux, we need Axios, right? And what else we need? We also need I think all of other are fine. We also need React router DOM. For routing we need to use it, so we'll do React router DOM. Okay, now what are you going to do, right? I don't save this one, let's close this also. Now I'm going to go here and we are going to install our SADCN configuration, right? So this is important. So for this one, first this part we've already done. Now we need to install our Tailwind. So I'm going to copy this and let's clear this and let's paste it here. Now this will install all the Tailwind related configuration and everything that you needed. And once this is done, we need to create our Tailwind config file. So let's copy this one, this command, and I'm going to close the server for now. Notice that one file will be created here. So if I just paste it and run here, you see there will be a Tailwind config file that will be created. So you can see the Tailwind config file is here, right? Now what you need to do, we need to add some configuration because we are using JavaScript here. So instead of creating tsconfig.json, we are going to create jsconfig.json. So inside this I'm going to create jsconfig.json. Okay, now in this file what you will do, right, simply copy this path from here, copy your whole thing. I'll just minimize this one and paste it here. And you don't need this, you only need the compiler options. Okay, the path that you are going to use. Now let's save it. This is done. After this, what you need to do, right, you also need to add something on your vite config. So let's go to our vite config file. So a vite config.js, and you can see that it's already mentioned that you are using React as a plugin. That is correct. So you need to add this resolve property, that what are the path that you are going to use, because we are going to use absolute path for importing and exporting. So that is the reason we are going to use this one. So I'm going to copy this and let's paste it here. And also you need to import path from path. So let's copy here. That's it. So vite config file you need to create. Now after this you need to run the CLI to install your SADCN. So I'm going to copy and let's again expand this one and paste it here. Now this will ask some queries, and once you'll answer all of this, it will basically create the component.json file, and after that we'll be able to use this one. So here we are going to keep this one as no. Then we have default base color, we'll keep this one. Now here, what is your global CSS file? And if you go here, right, you have a source and you can see that you have index.css. So inside source you have index.css, which is your global CSS file. If you have this file in somewhere, or let's say you have created another folder and you move all of this inside that folder, you need to give that path. For now, in our case, it will be source/index.css. So I'm going to give source/index.css, right? Would you like to use CSS variables? Yes. Are you using a custom Tailwind prefix? No. Where is your tailwind.config.js located? So it's located here only, right? tailwind.config.js. So tailwind.config.js, so you no need to do anything. Configure the default import. So we are going to configure it like this. So hit enter. So where we are going to create our utils, inside leave and utils, this is also fine. Are you using React server components? No. And then now once all of this is done, now write configuration for component.json. So it will create a configuration. So I'm going to write here y, and now you can see that there will be a component.json is created, right? And if you see here, all the configuration, whatever you have done, source and everything is added. For component, we are going to use this aliases. And now what we are going to do, right, once all of this is done, we can create our components. So for example, let's say whatever components you are going to use, those components only you will be able to install. So that is the advantage of using this SADCN. For example, if I come here, let's say I want to install a button component, so I can copy this, and then what I'll do, right, I'll just enter this. Now inside this components folder, one UI folder will be created, and you will see that they will automatically add all the components that are basically needed. So inside this, once this is done, now let's see. So you see it is installing the button, and if I just expand this one, there will be UI and there is a button component is now created. Okay, so this is the basic configuration that we needed. So now in the next part, what we are going to do, right, we will be set up our Redux and also the React router DOM. So let's do that in the next part. So let's set up our React router DOM, and also let's set up the Redux toolkit. Before that, what I noticed, right, so we are getting some error that it's not able to find this Tailwind CSS animate. So let's install this in our client folder. So we'll do npm install and we'll paste it. Now the first thing what we need to do, right, so we need to set up our React router DOM. So for that we will go to our main.jsx first, and I'm going to close this, and let's close everything now because we are starting our functionality, so we need to do everything step by step. So let's refresh this first. Okay, so I'm going to remove the strict mode from here. So the first thing we need to wrap our app in browser router, right? So because this is our main wrapper component of React router DOM, so this is the first step, and let's remove this strict mode also. Now next thing we need to install our we need to set up our store. So for this one, inside source I'm going to create our store, and here I'm going to create our main global store. Now because see, as I already told you, right, so here we are not going to explain all the features of Redux toolkit and everything, because this is a Mern stack application, so you should have know how React router DOM works, how you can create store and everything, or else this video will be very long and it will be like very repetitive. So here I'm going to create our main store.js. okay, so what this store does, so this store will create on global reducer, right, or basically it will hold all the application state. So now what we need to do, because we're going to use Redux toolkit, we need to create all the slices. Now each and everything will be a different slice. For example, let's say we are doing some login and authentication related thing, so we are going to create a auth slice. If we are doing something on the admin side, we are going to use admin slice. If we are doing something on the client view, or basically the shopping view, we will be creating a shopping slice, something like that. So here I'm going to create a folder, and let's give this one name as auth slice, right? Now again, these naming and everything, whatever you want, you can give auth slice, and inside this I'm going to create index.js. Now again, many of you actually commented that why I usually use this index.js. The reason is, see, the folder name I already given a unique, so there is no point of using folder name as auth slice and again give inside this auth slice.js. Either what you can do, right, if you are creating a file inside this, then you can give auth slice.js. I hope you are getting right, because you are not creating a folder, so you are directly creating a file. But if you are particularly creating a folder with that name, then there is no point of creating another auth slice. Instead you can use a index.js, right? So this is one thing. Now next thing, in the auth slice we need to create our main like setup. Alright, so let's start creating our auth slice. So first thing, so let's take this one as auth slice. So we're going to create a slice, so we'll do create slice. Here we need to give a name, so name I'll give auth. We also need a initial state. So for initial state, right, so here I'll take initial state. Mainly we need three things. So the first one, we need whether the user is authenticated or not. Let's import it like this. So we'll import from Redux toolkit. Okay, so first we need is the user is authenticated or not, which will be false. Then we need, let's say we'll take a loading state, which will also be false, and also you need a user information, which will be null. So for now, obviously we're not going to do anything, but this is just for the setup. So we will be having our initial state, and then we need to take our reducers, right? So here we have all the reducers, and also we are going to add some extra reducers. But for now, what I'm going to do simply, so here let's say we have a method which will set our user info. So we'll take a set user info, which will be state and action. And for now, I'm not going to do anything. So here I'm going to just do export const. This will be our auth slice dot actions, and here I'm going to pass the set user. And at the end, we are going to just do export default. We'll do auth slice dot reducer, right? So now we created a very basic slice here, And what we need to do, we need to use this slice, or basically the multiple slice, how many slice whatever we will be having, we need to combine all the slices into one slice, and that will create a global reducer. So here I'm going to create a const, and this will be store, and here we no need to use or manually combine all the reducer. Redux Toolkit will do it for us. So here we need to use configure store, and here we are going to pass a reducer property. Now see, this reducer is a mandatory property that you need to pass, and here you need to specify all the reducer. I'm pretty sure if you've already worked with this Redux Toolkit previously, you'll be aware of this one, and I'm not sure why this is happening, but let me import it like this. So we'll do configure store, and here I'm going to pass a auth, so this will be my auth reducer. So I'm going to import auth reducer from, so we'll go to our auth slice, and then I'm going to pass this auth reducer here. Now how many reducer whatever we'll be having, we'll be adding all of this reducer inside this, and this will create a global reducer or root reducer, and at the end we need to basically export this store. Now we have created our store. Now this store we need to connect with our React with or basically this store we need to connect with our React application. So for this one, again, what we need to do, right, we need to go to our main.jsx, which is our root file, and here we are going to provide that using provider component. So this provider component will be using from React Redux, and this provider component take a store property, and here we are going to pass this store that we have created. So here I'm going to pass store, and then we need to wrap this app inside this, and that's it. So now this will create all our reducer and everything. Now the basic React router setup is done, and the Redux setup is done. Next thing what we need to do, we will be start creating all our auth related packages, pages. So first thing, let's go to our source, and inside this source I'm going to create a pages folder. Okay, now we will be starting everything, and inside this pages folder we will be creating a auth folder. Okay, now again, these all the naming you can give by your own. See, each and every video whatever I created, every time I tell you basically that don't try to copy everything what I'm writing. Try to apply your own knowledge and try to do things something differently, and it will going to help you. Okay, so let's say for example I'm writing pages inside auth. Instead of creating like this, you can also create a different structure, but at the end the concept will be same. Okay, and inside this, for see, each and every pages will have a layout. Okay, now what we are going to do, right, so for layout we are going to create that layout inside components. Now see how this will be related. So inside pages we have a auth page. Similarly for components, inside this we will be having an auth component. Means whatever components that we will be writing that is related to this auth pages, we are going to write inside this folder, and here I'm going to create our layout.jsx. Now again, you can give this a name as auth layout, but the reason why I'm not doing, because I'm already given the folder name as auth, right? So now inside these pages, inside auth, I'm going to create two files. So one will be our login.jsx, and one will be our register, and one will be our register.jsx. So these two files that we needed. All right, now let's start working on the layout first. So let's go to layout, and now what we are going to do, so let's create a function, and this will be our auth layout. Here we'll return a div. Let's take a class name flex. We'll do mean height screen, and we'll do w as full. Inside this we'll take another div. We'll take a class name. We'll do this on hidden. We'll do large flex. We'll do item as center, justify center. We'll do bg as black, width we'll do 1/2, and px will do 12. Inside this we are going to take another div. We'll take a class name. We'll do max wmd. We'll do a space y of 6. We'll do text center, and we'll do text primary foreground. Inside this we're going to take a h1 and we'll give this one, let's say we can give any text like welcome to e-commerce shopping. Okay, let's take a class name here, so we'll give text for Excel, we'll do font extra bold, and we'll do tracking tight. That's it. Now let's save it. Now after this, what we need to do, right? So here we will take another div and we need to render all the common components, or basically the children. So this will be our always common, and inside this we need to import our outlet. So what this outlet will does, right? Sorry, this outlet, if you hover here, right, so this will render the child route. And here I'm going to give a class name. Let's give this one as flex of 1, item center, justify center, bg background, we'll do px of 4, py of 12, for sm we'll do px of 6, and large we'll do px of 8. Now let's save it. Now obviously nothing will come here because we haven't used this in our app.jsx, so now we need to configure. Alright, so now we are going to use this in our routes. So let's go to our app.jsx, and here let's remove everything. We don't need all of this, so I'm going to remove everything from here. Okay, and now let's remove this also. We'll take a div, and here I'm going to take a class. We'll do flex column, we'll do overflow hidden, and we'll do bg as white. Now here, see what will happen. You can render all the common components that you will be rendering in all the pages. Now there are multiple ways you can do that, but this is just to show you. For example, let's say you have a header component, so you'll render the header component here, something like that. And then after this you will be having all the routes configuration. For example, let's say you want to go to the auth page and then you want to go to the shop page or admin view, so you need to switch route from one route to another route. So for this one we need to use this routes component from React router DOM, and inside this you need to use all the routes. So what we are going to do, first I will take one route, and this will be your route, and then here you need to give the path. So I'll give a path as auth, and here you need to give the element. So in the element, what we are going to do, right, very important, here I'm going to render the auth layout that I have created. So whenever I'll go to the auth page, I want to render this common component, so this will be my auth layout. Now if you noticed, in this auth layout we are rendering all the outlet. For example, when you go to the, let's say /auth/login, that time I want to render the login page, but the common will be always same. When I'll go to the /login/register, I want to render the register component, right? So these will be your children, and this is how you'll be writing. So you'll be writing a route, and inside this route you can write again multiple route. So again I'll take one more route, and I'll take one more. So what you are basically telling, that this auth layout will be the parent, and inside this whatever you'll be writing, those will be child. So now here I'll give, for example, path. So I'll give login, and then I'll go to this layout component, and let's go to the pages first. So we have a login page and the register page, right? So if I go to the login page, let's create our auth login, and let's return a div, and this will be my login. Let's copy this and let's paste it here. So this will be my auth register, and this will be my register page. So now when you go to app, so you are basically telling that go to /auth, render this component, and then go to /auth/login. That time you render this auth login component. I hope you're getting. So now this will be auth login. So this means this auth login is a children of this auth layout. Similarly, copy this and then we'll paste it here. So for register, so right, we have a register, so here I am to render auth register component. Let's save it. Now see what will happen. See, we're already getting header, and let's refresh this. Awesome. So you can see that we are getting welcome to e-commerce shopping, and you're getting register. I don't know, the spelling is wrong. Okay, let me do it, register. So register. Now if I go to the login page, you see the left side will be always common. See, the left side is common, and you are getting this login here. That means what is happening, this path is always common. So that is the reason we created a common layout. And what is the advantage? The advantage is that you no need to write this code every time in all the pages, correct? So this is how you can create a common layout. So now we created our login and register. Now let's quickly set up some of the things in our admin view and also the shopping view. The reason why I'm trying to complete all the pages first, so that we will be able to complete the authentication part first. Once the authentication is done, then we need to start working on the admin view. So now what we are going to do, right, let's go to our pages, and inside pages we'll create one more folder, and I'll give this one name as admin, or you can also give this one name as admin view. So let's give this one admin view. I think this will be better to understand. Then you'll be having one more folder inside pages, and that will be your shopping view. That means the normal user will be able to see. So I'll give this one name as shopping view. Okay, again for both, right, again we'll be having the components. And for example, so here I have an admin view. So that means whatever components will be related to admin, that I'll be creating inside this. So we'll create one more folder here, and that will be our shopping view, right? So all the shopping related components we are going to create inside this. Now for each and every folder we need to create our layout, right? So let's create our admin view layout.jsx, and let's close everything else for now. So here I'm going to create another function, and this will be our admin layout. Okay, now here again one very important thing is that try to create all the layouts separately, and it will be easy to understand. Obviously you can create common layout for all your pages, that is also fine, but the reason why I'm writing, because the view whatever we will be having in this particular project, that is basically different. So for auth we are having this particular view, for admin we are having a different view, and for shopping we have a different view. So that is the reason we are creating a separate layout. Now here we are going to return a div. Let's take a class name. So we'll do flex, mean height, we'll do screen. And also one more thing, sorry if you're getting any noise, so there might be some noise might be coming from outside. Okay, and here what we are going to do, we will be having our sidebar. So we'll be having our admin sidebar, and then we'll take another div, and here I'm going to do class name, and this will be flex of 1 and flex column. And if you notice, I'm not going to explain all the CSS. While CSS I'm doing little fast, because I know these things are very time consuming, and the main agenda will be missed. So main agenda is to understand how you're going to create a good project from scratch, so that you will be able to understand the Mern stack concept by creating project, right? And here you are having admin sidebar. Now I'm going to having admin header here. So this will be my admin header component, and after this we'll be having a main. And here again what you need to import, we need to use the outlet component, because again admin view will have multiple child components, right? And in this main I'm going to take a class name, and let's make this on flex 1 flex. I will do bg muted, sorry, do muted 40, and then we are going to do a p of 4, and we'll do md p of 6. Awesome. Now here you can see that we are having admin sidebar, and also we are having the admin header, but this is fine. Let's do one thing, let's go to admin view, and let's create a sidebar dot jsx, and also we're going to create a header dot jsx. And we noticed everything how we are organizing, because we'll be having multiple pages and files, right? So it will be like a mess if we are not managing properly. So now this will be my admin sidebar. So I'll give admin sidebar. So here let's return a div, and we'll do admin sidebar, and let's copy this one, and we'll do admin, sorry, we'll copy this and we'll paste it here, and we'll do this on admin header. So this will be header. So now these two we are going to import here, right? So we're having admin sidebar, and here we'll be having admin header. So now if you noticed, if I go to, let's say, okay, we obviously need to import this one. So again we'll go to our main app.jsx, right? And each and every file that you'll be creating or route, right, you need to configure it here, and this is very, very important, or else it will not work. So now again what we will do, we'll create another route here. So we'll do route, and inside this we are going to give a path. So I'm going to give /admin. So this is our home admin, or basically parent admin path, and here I'm going to render which component I need to render. I hope you're already getting. So you need to render admin layout, correct? So this is my admin page, and inside these you need to create all the child pages that you will be having. So now what I will do again, now inside of pages, then admin view, I'm going to create all the pages that we will be having. So first one, I'll be creating our dashboard, right, .jsx. Then let's say we'll be having a products page, products.jsx. Then we will be having an orders page, orders.jsx. Then we can create some features page. Now just to give example, like probably not all the pages we are going to write, but definitely products page, orders, and dashboard, these three pages will be there definitely. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, let's go to this dashboard and create all the file one by one. So this will be our admin dashboard. Let's return a div, and this will be my admin dashboard. Let's copy this, paste it here. This will be my admin features. This will be my admin orders. The reason why I'm writing admin at first, because we will be having the shopping orders also, right? So that it doesn't conflict, for understanding purpose. Again, I'm repeating, it's up to you. You can give any name you want. And this will be my admin products. So now we have basically created all the admin related pages. So now what we can do, right, simply go to our app.jsx, and inside this admin route we are going to write all the child components. So admin view will have a parent, which is admin layout, and now I'll be having multiple route. So first I will take one, let's copy, paste it 4 times, and let's copy this one from here and paste it here. So this will be my dashboard. So this will be dashboard, right? And for /admin/dashboard, so that will be the path. For this one, which component I'll render? I'll render admin dashboard, correct? So this will be my products. So this will be /admin/products, and this one I'm going to render admin products. Similarly, this will be my orders. For this one I'm going to render admin orders, and this will be, let's say, my feature, and this will be my admin features. Now we have created admin related pages also, right? Now let's see what is happening. See, if I go to /admin, so you are getting only the header component and the admin sidebar component, right? And if I go to the layout, so you can getting this admin sidebar and header. But if you go to /admin/dashboard, now you're getting admin dashboard. If I go to /products, you're getting admin products. If I go to /features, you're getting admin features, and at the end we're having admin orders. See, all the component now we have created, correct? And this is the setup that we have used. Now similarly, what we need to do, we also need to do the same thing, exact same thing. For what? We need to do it for shop also, right? Because in shop also we will be having multiple pages, correct? So let's do for shop also. So first I'll go to pages, and here I think we already have a shopping view, correct? So now let's go to our shopping view, and again I'm going to create our layout.jsx. Alright, so let's create the shopping view layout. So I'll give this one name as, let's give shopping layout, and here again we are going to return a div. Let's give a class name. So we'll do flex column, background white, and overflow I'll give hidden. And here what we are going to do, right, we'll be having our common header component of the shopping view. And after this we'll take a main, we'll take a class name, we'll do flex column, we'll do width full, and here again what we need to pass, we need to pass the outlet component because we'll be rendering the child. So now let's close everything. So we have a common header component, right? So inside shopping view again I'm going to create another component which will be my header. So this will be the shopping view header. So here I'll create function and this will be shopping header, and let's return a div. So this will be my shopping view header, and let's import it in this shopping layout. So we'll do shopping view, do shopping header, I think, right? Yeah, okay. So now we created our admin routes, we created our auth routes. Now we need to create our app. In the app.jsx we need to create now what? We need to create all the shopping related routes. So now here we will do route, and again we need to pass the path. So in the path I'll give /shop. So this will be our shopping related main path, and then in the element I'm going to use here shop layout, right? A shopping layout. Okay, so this is what we are going to use. Now inside this we will be using all the shopping related child components. One more thing we can do, so we'll take one more route here. So we'll give a path, so we'll give star, and this will be for our not found page. So what we can do, right, inside pages I'll create one more folder and I'll give this one name as not found, and let's create our index.jsx, and here I'm going to give not found. That means if user try to access a page which doesn't exist, so we'll do like page does not exist. Okay, and this I'm going to pass it here. So the element, and let's do not found. So now what will happen, right? Let's say if I try to go to some random page, so you can see that we are getting page doesn't exist, but you are getting this header component always, and this is coming because we have a common component. But this will not record. This I just explain you that time that you will be able to use, but I'm going to remove this one. So now you can see that we are getting page doesn't exist. Now what I'm going to do, right, so we already created a shopping layout, and if you try to go to the /shop, right, you'll see that we'll be getting the shopping view header. Now let's quickly create all the pages that are required in the shopping view. So here we start with our home. So we need a shopping home, which will be our main home page of our e-commerce app. Then we need a product listing page, and let's give this one name as listing instead of products page. So this will be our listing page. Then we also need, now for this one, as I already discussed in the intro video, that we will not be having a separate details pages or cart pages. What we're going to do, we'll try to do something different, because I see a lot of YouTube videos they are using like cart page and separate. So what we are going to do, we'll be creating the cart or showing the cart as a form of a sheet view. So sheet is one of my most favorite component in SADCN, and that looks really awesome. So the component I'm going to show you, and this component we will be using in lot of places. If you click here, right, this part, so this kind of dialogue, and this looks so awesome. So this is the one that we are going to use for the cart view and also the wish list page. So that is the reason for the shopping view will be a home page, we will be having a listing page, and then we will be having a checkout page. Okay, so we'll having a checkout page, and also we'll be having a account page. That's it. And all the other things we are going to write, and we'll be learning everything like why we need only these pages and everything. But let's first quickly create all of these pages. So this will be my shopping home, and let's return here div. So this will be my shopping view home, save it, and this will be my shopping listing. So this will be my listing page. Then this will be my shopping checkout, right? Then this will be my account page. So this will be my shopping account or user account, whatever you can give, it's up to you. So we'll do shopping account. So this will be your account page. Awesome. Now let's go to again the app.jsx and let's close everything. Now inside shopping/shopping we are going to use all the route. So we'll start with our route, and we need a home route, correct? We need a listing route, we need a checkout route, and also we need an account route. And let's copy this and paste it. Let's copy it from here. And we have this one and also here. So first we have a home. So this will be my shopping home. Then we have products, or sorry, listing. So we have a shopping listing. Oh, sorry. Then we'll be having the checkout. So this will be my shopping checkout. And then we'll be having the account, which will be my shopping account. Now you see how we have implemented this routing, right? And it is crystal clear, like what are the things that we have done and how we have completed. Now if I try to go to /shop/home, sorry, this page doesn't exist, so we'll go to shopping view home. Then we have a listing page, so we're getting shopping view listing. Then we have a checkout page, so we'll have a shopping view checkout. And if you see the header is always common, and this is because this is coming from the shopping layout, so from here, and this outlet is changing this content. And then if I go to /account, so we're getting shopping view account. Now all the pages is done, auth related pages is done, shopping related pages is done, and also admin related pages is done. So what will be the next step? Next step is going to be one of the very important concept that you are going to learn, and that is how you can handle authorization and also authentication in your application. Because we haven't implemented any API routes or controllers for now, and we haven't integrated with our React, what we are going to do, right? I'm going to explain you that concept using some dummy state. Okay, so I'm going to use some dummy state and then I'm going to show you, and believe me, this concept is very important. And later when we implement it with our backend, that time we are going to replace that dummy state with our actual state. So let's see how we are going to do that in the next part. So let's learn one of the very important concepts that we are going to do in this part, right? So see, before that we need to discuss a couple of things, right? The first thing is that if you go to the /auth and login page, right? So who can access this page? Now try to think by yourself, right? See, this page will be accessible by those users who haven't logged in or registered. They can only access. But let's say if you're already logged in and try to access this page, what will happen? You'll be redirected to the authenticated pages. Next, who can access these pages? So let's say the user is already authenticated. Some imagination, like they have already logged in and they have already authenticated user, and they try to go to the admin page. So what will happen? Who can access this page? So the user, they can access who have only admin access. So for now in this particular project, I'm going to keep one super admin, something like that. But you can also keep some concept, like let's say you can onboard some users or basically admins. So let's say in your project you have only 5 admins, so only admin can access these admin related pages. And then who can access these shopping pages? So shopping pages can access anyone, right, who have authenticated user, or basically the user who came for shopping in your application. But admin can't access these pages, right? Will not give admin access to this page. So these features we are going to implement. So for this one, what I'm going to do, right, I will be creating a common component inside this. So we have a components, and then we have admin view, auth view, and also shopping view, right? So we'll create one more component which will be my common component. So here we will be creating all the common related components that we are going to use. And inside this we will, let's give this one name as check auth, right? So we'll give here check auth.jsx. So this component will check all the authentication related things. Now try to do this one very carefully, right? This is very important. So let's create this function and we'll do check auth. Now this function, this component will receive some of the things. The first prop it will receive whether the user is authenticated or not. So this is the first thing. Next, it will receive the user information. Like if the user is authenticated, so user will have a name, email or password, something like that. Then it will receive the children. Children is nothing but the component that we want to render. and you'll be able to understand. Now here what we are going to do, right? First, in this function we will take a location property. So what this location will does, this will tell you the current location that you are at. So this location it will give you, right? Let's say you are in the admin page, so this location it will give you. If you're in the auth page, it will give you the current location, something like that. So now what will happen here, you need to do lot of things. First thing is that what we need to check. First we'll check if, now notice this one very carefully, if the user is not authenticated. So we'll do is not authenticated, right? So user is not logged in, and then user try to access any other pages than the login page or register page. So think for 1 minute that what will happen if the user is not authenticated but user is try to access the shopping page. So user will be redirect back to the login page, correct? This is what exactly happened in a normal application. So you need to log in first, then only you'll be able to access. So this is what we are checking. If the user is not authenticated and if user try to access any page which doesn't exist login or register. So how we are going to check that? So we'll simply check if this location.pathname.includes. So if this includes, let's say /login, or if this location.pathname.includes, so if this includes /register, so what will happen, right? User will be redirect to the login page. Sorry. Okay, we need to give here. So let me format this. So if the user is not authenticated and user try to access any page other than login and register page, so we'll simply return this user, and for returning we are going to use this navigate component from React Router DOM. So we'll tell that, okay, if the user is not authenticated, just go to the /auth/login page. Okay, so this is the one logic. Save it. Next logic, what we need to do, we are going to check that if the user is already authenticated, means if the user is already logged in and then they try to access the login page, so what will happen? They will be going to the shopping page or the admin view. So see what I'm going to do, and this will be very easy to understand. That is the reason I'm repeating everything multiple times. So we'll check if the user is already authenticated. So if this is true, and here we are going to basically check that if the location.pathname.includes, let's say /login, okay, or so here we are going to do if location.pathname.includes /register. So what will happen in this case, right? User will be redirecting to the either shopping view or admin view. But how we are going to do that? Now think once again that if the user is authenticated, then we need to check from user role. If the user is a normal user, they will be going to the shopping view. If user is a admin user, user will be going to the admin view. And how we are going to check that? Now here this user will comes into picture. So now again we'll check that if this user dot role, correct, if this is equal to let's say what we'll do admin. So if this is admin user, so we'll navigate to what? We'll navigate to the /admin/dashboard. Else if the user is a normal user, so we'll return user to the shopping view. So we'll return to /shop/home. So this is another logic. Again I'm repeating, if user is already authenticated and user try to access login page, so user will be navigating to the either admin page or the shopping page, and that we are going to check based on the user role. And last thing what we are going to do, right, we will be doing one more thing, that is that if the user is authenticated, now this is a optional thing that you can do, and user is try to access an admin page, right? So what will happen? For example, let's say I'm already logged in and then I'm a normal user, but I try to access the admin page. So what will happen? You don't have access to this page, right? Because you are not admin. So we are going to render some kind of unauth page that you don't have access to this page, something like that. And that how we are going to check? So you can simply check it that if user is authenticated and user dot role, if this is not equal to admin, and location dot path name dot includes, if this includes any admin route. So what we are going to do? Simply return navigate the user to /admin. Sorry, we are going to use not admin, we are going to navigate the user to unauth page. Okay, so this is one logic. And last thing what we are going to do, if the user is authenticated and user is an admin user, correct? So what will happen if the user is admin user and admin user try to access a shopping page? So what will happen? They can't access this, so we'll redirect the user to the admin page. So this also we need to check that if the user is authenticated and user dot role, if this is equal to admin and this admin user is trying to access, so we'll do path name dot includes. If this user is trying to access a shopping page, so shop, so what will happen? We will redirect the user to the, so here we'll simply redirect the user to navigate, and we'll redirect to the, let's redirect the user to admin page. So we'll do admin / dashboard, right? And if nothing, no of this condition satisfied, so simply just return the children. So I'm going to render the children here. That's it. So now again repeat once again, right? So first we are checking if the user is not authenticated and they basically trying to access any auth pages, for example any shopping related page or admin page, they'll be going to the auth login page. If the user is authenticated and they try to access login page or register page, then based on the user role we'll navigate to the admin page or the shopping page. If the user is already authenticated and user role is not admin, that means user is a normal user and they try to access an admin route, so user will navigate into the unauth page. And last, if the user is authenticated and user is an admin user and they try to access a shopping page, that means like this, so they'll be navigating to the admin dashboard. Now these all are done, but how we are going to use this component? This component we need to use in our app.jsx, and this is very important. So let's go to our app.jsx, and you can see here, right, we have this main layout for each and every. So we have an auth layout, we have an admin layout, and we have a shopping layout. What we need to do basically here, we need to wrap each and every layout inside this check auth component. So I'm going to cut it from here. So I'm going to use check auth and I'm going to pass this auth layout. And if you notice here, right, this check auth, this is nothing but the children that we are getting. So this is the children. And here I'm going to pass, let's say, so let's take some dummy. So we'll do is authenticated, right? So I'll do this on, let's say, false, and const user I will do null. So this my dummy data, and here I'm going to pass is authenticated, which will be my is authenticated, and I'm going to pass the user, which will be this user, which is null. So save it. Now next, same thing we are going to do for this admin layout also. So we'll cut it from here and then we'll wrap this check auth component and then pass the admin layout. Same pass is authenticated will be is authenticated and user will be user. And last, the same thing we are going to do for shopping layout. And here we are going to again pass check auth and then we are going to pass the shopping layout, and again we'll pass the user, which will be user, and is authenticated, which will be is authenticated. Let's keep this one on the right side. Save it. Now we have basically protected all the routes and based on the role. See what will happen. Now user is not authenticated and I'll try to refresh this page which is in the shopping page. See what will happen. Refresh this. See, it's going to the auth login page. Awesome, right? If I try to access the admin page, see, it's going to the auth login. And which condition is satisfying? This is this one, that user is not authenticated but they try to access a different page other than login page. So they are going to the login route, correct? You can't access, no way you can access this one. If I try to go, let's say checkout page, right? So shop said let's check out and it will be going to the auth login page. You can't access that page only. Now see how we are going to check the role. So now I'm going to make the is authenticated as true, and I'll pass some user info. So user I'll pass, let's say, name as my name. Now the user is already authenticated, right? So this condition, user is authenticated, and if you try to access the login page, what will happen? You will be redirected to the either admin dashboard page or in the shopping page. And here I'm going to pass the name, and let's role pass as user. Save it and see what will happen. See what is happening. You're going to the shopping home page, correct? And this is the condition is satisfying. So user is authenticated. So now if the user is a normal user, you'll be going to the shopping home page. But see what will happen. If I try to go to the auth login, refresh this, you'll be in this page only. If I try to go to auth register, you will be in this page only. But if I try to make this on admin and save it, see, awesome, right? Now this is going to the admin dashboard page. So now you can't access the shopping page also. See, if I try to go to the shop view, right, you'll be in the admin page only because you don't have access to that page. Now one more thing we need to check, and that is if I make this one as user, right, and save it, now we need to go to unauth. It's going to the unauth page. Currently we don't have this page, that is the reason we are getting this error. So we need to quickly fix this. So let's go in our pages, and I'm going to create one unauth page, and let's create index.jsx. So this will be our unauth page. Yeah, unauth page is correct. So you don't have, later we are going to change all of this, access to view this page, right? So now if I go to the app.jsx, and let's say I'll add this one quickly here. So I'll do route path, I will give /unauth page, and element I will give unauth page, and I'm going to paste it here, save it. You don't have access to this page. The reason is why this is happening, because currently user is a user page, right? Sorry, the role is user, right? And if the user try to access an admin page, so you don't have access, right? So that is the reason it's happening. But if we make this one to, let's say, admin view, let's first let's refresh this first. So if I try to go to the admin auth login, see, it's going to the admin view, right? So if I go to products, you'll be able to see all of this, because currently the user role is an admin user. So this is what exactly the logic behind the authentication and authorization based on the role that we have done. Now what will be our step? Once the backend is completed, the integration is completed with front end and back end, then we are going to replace this user and is authenticated user with our actual state. So that we are going to do in the next part. So let's start working on the login and the registration UI first. Okay, so for this one, see, we are going to create quite a few forms. So what we are going to do, right, we will be creating our own custom form component, okay, without using any third-party library package. So for now what I have done, right, I keep this is authenticated false and the user as null. Okay, so now let's go to our components, and inside common I'm going to create a let's give this one name as, what you can do, right, let's give form.jsx. okay, now I'm close everything else. And before that we need to do one more thing, and that is we need to install some of the components from our SADCN. So we need our label component here. So let's go to our input first, input label, select text area. So these things we need. So let's go to input, and let's copy this and paste it here. Sorry, let's copy this one, clear it. Clear, and then paste it. Also we also need select, we need label, we need text area, and what else we need? I think input label button, I think we have already installed, and I think this will be fine. So these all the components we needed. Okay, now let's create our components. We'll do function, we'll do common form, we'll give this one name as, and what this will return, right? So this will return a form component, and here we basically will be creating this form based on the form configuration, and that I'm going to show you. So how we are going to do that, right? So inside source I'm going to create one more folder, and I'll give this one name as config, and inside this I'll create index.js, so all the configuration we are going to create in this file. And let's export our first configuration, which will be our register form controls. Okay, Now this will have some name, so let's give this a name as, for register we will have a username, correct? This will also have a label, so which will be username. This will have a placeholder which I'll give like enter your username. This will also have a component type. Now based on this component type we are going to decide whether we need to render an input or select or text area, something like that. And also this will have a type which will be, let's say it can be a text, it can be a number, and it also will have a options. So options can be optional. So options means when we have a select component, right, so that time we can have options, so that is the reason. So now I'm going to copy this and I'm going to paste it 2 more times. So second one I'm going to do this one as email. Now see, the first configuration I'm writing this, but from the next time I'm not going to write each and every name, label and those things, because these are extremely repetitive. So I'm going to just copy, I already have in my local, so I'm going to just copy and paste it, but I'm going to discuss what are the fields that we are going to use. Here I'm going to give enter your email, component type, this will be input and type will be email. Then we'll be having a password property. Label I'll give this one name as password. Then placeholder I'll give enter your password, component type password, and type will be password. So this is our configuration. Okay, now this configuration we are going to receive in this form component. So the advantage will be basically we no need to write each and every input in every time we'll be creating a new form, right? So based on that configuration it will automatically create that. I think you are getting some noise, let me just pause it for some time. Alright everyone, so let's start working on the form component. So whatever form component that we are going to create based on this component type, that config that we have created. Okay, so the first thing after this form we will take one more div here, and inside this let's take a class name and let's do flex column and gap of 3. Alright, and now what we are going to do, right, this common form will receive form controls as a prop from the parent component. So what we will do, so these form controls will be these form controls that we will be passing from the individual component. So now we are going to basically do map, so we'll do just map it, and this will be my control item, and what this will return, so let's return a div here for each and every input type. And for this one, first thing what we'll do, right, we'll take a key, and for this one let's take control item dot name as the key. Okay, and for this div we are going to take a class name, so let's make this one grid. We'll do width of full and we'll do gap of 1.5. okay, and after this what we are going to do, we'll be rendering a label for each and every input. So I'm going to import label, and here I'm going to render control item, and if you see here we have a label property here, so we'll do control item dot label. And here also we're going to take a class name, so for label let's only keep some margin bottom as 1. And after this label, now what we're going to do, right, we will be rendering the input based on the component type. So what we can do, simply create a function here, so we'll do render inputs by component type. Now it's up to you, you can give other name you want, and here I'm going to pass the control item. Now let's create this function, so I'm going to create this here, so this will be get control item, and what we're going to do, right, we'll take an element property here, which I'll keep this one as null. And then because we can have multiple objects here, and for each and every object we will have a component type, so what we can do, right, we can take a switch here, and then we can just do get control item dot component type, right, and based on this we will be able to identify that what kind of component type is that. So if this is a input, so here we are going to do, if this is a type of input, so here we are having a component type input, right. So for input what we'll do, right, we'll simply render an input element. So I'm going to just do element, and here let's return an input. So I'm going to import input from our side scene that we have installed, and here we are going to take the following properties. So first we'll take the name, which will be our get control item dot name. Then we're going to take a placeholder, which will be again get control item dot placeholder, because we also have a placeholder here. Next we also need ID, so we're going to take ID, which will be get control item dot ID, sorry, name we can keep as ID, that is fine because name will be always unique. Then we will be having a type, so here also we are going to take a type which will be get control item dot type. And also we need to take two more things, one will be the value and one will be the onChange, but that we are going to do later. So this will be one type. Now in the default case, means when if you don't pass any component, that time also we are going to do the same, so we'll render the input type element, and at the end we are going to return this element. Okay, so this is for input. Now coming to select, now let's copy this case, right, and then what we'll do, we'll paste it two more times. So one I'll paste here and one more time, and this I will make this one as select, and then we can also have text area. Now you can do one more thing, right? Now these all the things whatever I'm mentioning, these you can do by yourself. Okay, don't think like I'm not doing means you don't have to do it. Please try to improve this code by your own. What you can do, right, you can create a types, something like this, let's say types, and then this will have a input type which you will map to input. I hope you're getting. Then you'll take a select type, then you'll make this one as select. Now instead of doing like this string value, what you can do, you can simply do types dot input. So this will help you in so many ways. This is going to help you when, so the first thing is that let's say if there is a spelling mistake here, right, so there will be some problem. So this is the reason you can take these kind of types also. Okay, now for select, what we are going to do, simply will render a select element. So I'm going to remove this and let's import select. Now this select will take a value and onChange, that we are going to do, but after this we need to take a select trigger, and here we are going to take a class name and we'll do this one as width as full. Okay, then after this we need to take a select value. Now in the select value, basically what we are going to do, we are going to just render the placeholder, and placeholder will be our get component, get control item dot placeholder. So this will be my select trigger, and after this we are going to render a select content, right? So in this select content, what we will do, we need to basically render the options. Let's say some of the things will have options, right? So this option we are going to map it when it will be a type of select, so that also we are going to see. So here what we'll check, simply we'll check if this get control item dot options and so we are going to check if the options length is greater than 0, and dot length, again you can take optional also, like something like this, you can also take this one, that is also okay, but I just like to do like this. So here you just do map, and this will be my option item, and what will return, right? So this will return a select item. Okay, and here what you will return, you will return render the option item dot label, and in the select item first we'll take a key. So in the key we'll take option item dot ID, and also we need to pass a value property here which will be option item dot ID. Okay, I think we are having some problem. Okay, if nothing, then we are going to just render null, so we need to take a render null here. Alright, and after this, if this is a text area, then what we are going to do, so we'll render a text area component. Okay, so here the first thing, again we are going to take a name which will be get control item dot name. We are going to take a placeholder which will be get control item dot placeholder, right? Also we are going to take a ID which will be get control item dot ID, and then we are going to take value and onChange. So that we are going to see how we are going to do the value and onChange. Okay, so these will be the basic structure. Now what are the things that this will receive? So apart from these form controls, this component will receive couple of things. The first one will be the form data, and based on this form data we are going to manage each and every input value. Then it will receive a set state method, which I will give this one name as set form data. You can give any name you want. Then this will receive a on submit method. Okay, and also it will receive a button text. So now let's implement all of this. So the first thing is that after these form controls, this div, right? So here what we can do, right? Sorry, this one. So we are going to take a button, and then we are going to check if there is a button text already provided, or else we'll keep this one as default as submit. Okay, and then let's give a class name here. So I'll give a class name, let's give margin top up 2 and width as full. Okay, and also you need to give a type as submit. This is important because this is inside form, so we'll keep this one as submit. Then in this form we are going to take a on submit, which will be the on submit prop that we will be receiving. So this one is, I'm talking about this on submit. So this is done. Now next thing what we are going to do, right, we need to basically get the value. So how we are going to get the value? So here we are going to take the value. So see, notice what will happen. So this value that I'm going to take, this value will be this form data that we will be receiving. So form data will consist of all the key values that this form control will have. So for example, here we have a name as username. So name is the key. So here name is the key and the value is username. So here we have a username, then we have an email, then we have a password. So based on this name we are going to get the form data, and I'm going to explain once again. So here we are going to check if this form data consists this get control item dot name, that means form data of username, form data of email, form data of password, something like that. Okay, or else this will be empty. So this will be my value. Now this value I'm going to pass it here. Also we need to pass this value in our select component. So let's go to select. So you're going to pass a value here, right? So this will be my value, and also you're going to pass a text area here. Also I'm going to pass a value which will be this value. Now next thing what we need, we also need a on change for each and every element. So now I'm going to take a on change. So let's start with this one. So this will have a on change. So this will give a event, and here you're going to call this set form data, right? And here what we are going to do, right, we are going to destructure the form data that we are having, and then we will simply do get control item dot name. This will be the value. Okay, so here this will be event, sorry, this will be event dot target dot value. So this will be for your input. The same thing we will use in our default case also, because in default case also we are passing the input, right? Now for text area what we can do, simply this will be also very simple. For text area again we will do the same logic. So we'll pass, so we'll get the set form data, and then get control dot name will be event dot target dot value. Only for this select we need to do this thing. So this select component of this setCN will give you a value property that you will be able to access directly. So here what you need to do, right, you need to use this on value change. Okay, and this will give a value here instead of event, and these we can simply directly use that set form data. So I'll get the form data, and I'll do get control item dot name will be this value, or basically the current value that we are going to select. So this will be our basic, or basically complete the structure of this form. But how we are going to test it? Now see, when I'm going to implement the registration form first, you're going to understand it's very clearly like what is happening. Okay, so now let's go to our register component. So we'll go to our pages, then we are going to go to our auth view and then register page. Okay, so now let's do step by step. So first thing, I'm going to remove everything, and I'm going to take a div. Here we'll take a class name, we'll do mx of auto, width as full, max wmd, and we are going to do a space y of 6. Okay, now I'm going to take another div. I'm not going to explain all this CSS. We'll take a h1, and what we are going to do, right, so we'll do simply sign up. We can keep it simple, like we'll only keep sign up or create new account. I think we can give create new account. I think this is better. Okay, and here let's take a class name. So we'll do text 3xl, font bold, right, we'll do tracking tight, and text foreground. So this will be my h1. Now after this, what we can do, we can take another p here, and we can do that like already have an account, so that user will be able to switch from this register page to login page, right? And after this, what we can do, simply take a link component from React Router DOM, and we'll pass this login here, and here we're going to do to which will be /auth/login. Let's take a class name, so do margin top of 2, and I think let's keep it like this. For this link we'll take a class name, so for this one we'll do font medium, text primary, and also we're going to do for hover we'll do underline. Also let's give some space here. I think not space, I think we can do something like this, margin left. Okay, so this is done. Now see how it will be very easy to do. So what you need to do, right? So first thing, I'm going to create a state here. So this will be my form data, right? So this will be my form data, and then I'm going to do set form data, which will be use state of initial state. The local state we are not going to manage using Redux, we are going to use local state here. I think that is much better. So we'll do a const and we'll do initial state. So we need username, correct? We need an email, and also we need a password. Alright, and then what you need to do, simply call the common form component that you have created, right? And then we need to pass all the elements. So first we'll pass the form controls, which will be my register form controls. So we'll do register form controls. We'll pass button text. So here we'll do, right, something like create account. Then, or let's give this on sign up instead of this. We need form data, which will be my form data. That's now created. Set form data, which will be set form data, and these two is basically these two. Also I need to create one on submit. So create function on submit, and this we are going to pass it here. So we'll do on submit, which will be on submit. Now see what will happen if I now save this, right? Now this will automatically create this. Let's refresh this. I think this is getting loaded. Let's wait for some time. I think there are some error is coming, is it? I think it's getting loaded. Let's see. Yeah, see now it's coming, right? Okay, now you can see that we are having username, email and password and the button. Now the only best thing about is that you don't have to write all of this. What you can do, simply create the configuration here and just pass it like this, and that's it. It will automatically create for you. So now what we can do, right, for login we are going to use the exact same format. As I already told you, right, I'm not going to write each and everything. These things takes a lot of time because we are going to do a lot of functionality in this project, and you are going to understand like there are a lot of complicated things and those things. So those things we are going to focus much. So what we are going to do, right, to create the login one, simply copy this, go to login page, and we'll paste it here, and we'll give this one first. I'll change to auth login, right? And for this one, for login we have only email and password, right? So I'm going to remove this, and then here I'm going to create one more. So I'll copy this one from here, and this will be my login form controls, and then we don't need username, so I'm going to remove this. All right, and now everything will be same. So this will be like we'll give this one like what you can give, welcome or something like that, or sign in to your account. I think this is fine. And here we can give like don't have an account, and we can give like register, right? Because from login page you'll be able to go to the register page, and here we are going to give register. Now instead of this we are going to pass the login form controls. So this will be sign in, form data will be form data, set form data, and on submit will be same, right? And now see, with this it's done, and I'm going to remove this. Let's save it. Now see, if I go to the login page, see login is coming. If I go to register, and you're able to switch, and this is working fine. So now what we need to do, simply we'll start with the register functionality. So we need to start working on the backend. Now this is where we need to learn all of these things you might be already working on, the CSS and creating structure. So that is the reason I'm not focusing on those things. So let's start working on the backend part for this. So we need to create models, we need to create controllers, we need to create middleware, and also we need to create routes, and after that we are going to integrate this with our backend. So that we are going to do in the next part. So let's start creating the model first. So I'm going to close everything and let's go to server, and then we'll create a folder and let's give this one name as models. We also need controllers. So controllers hold the logic that we are going to write for each and every route. Then we will be having the routes, right? So API routes, so from where we will be calling the API from our front end side. So these three things we need. So now the first thing, always you need to create a model. Model basically will specify that what are the properties that you are going to save in your database. So first we will create our register page. So register will have a username, correct? It will have an email, it will have a password, and also it will have a role. Role will be always default to user because there will be only one super admin, something like that. So here I'm going to create a model and let's give this a name as user.js. Okay, and here the first thing you need the mongoose. So we'll do require, so this will be mongoose, and here we are going to create our user schema. So we'll do user schema. So this will be new mongoose dot schema, and here you need to basically specify all the things that you are going to use. So first thing, we need a username, correct? So this will be my username. So username will have a type of string. This will be required, will be true, right? And this username you can also keep as unique. Unique also will be true, or else it will give error. Okay, let's copy this and we're going to paste it 4 more times. So right, so then we'll be having an email. So type also will be string, required will be true, unique will be true. Then we'll be having a password. Type will be string and required will be true. Okay, and at the end we'll be having a role. So role, what you're going to do, we'll do type as string and we'll do default to user. So always default will be role as a user. So this will be my model. Once we'll create the model, now we need to basically export it. So look, user, and we need to basically create the model. So to create a model, you need to use this mongoose.model property. Okay, and here we're going to pass user, and then you need to specify that this will be your name and what is the schema that you want to add, and also you can pass a collection, that is optional. So we are going to pass this user schema, and then simply do module.exports, and we're going to export this user, right? And this is done. So this will be your very first step whenever you will be start working on any backend logic or basically Mern. So first you need to create or specify the model. All right, now once you created the model, now you need to think that what are the things that we need, right? So if you think right here, see, first thing you need a register route. Register route in the sense, whenever you click on the sign up button, you need to get the information of username, email and password, and whatever user will be typing, you are going to store this in your database, correct? Similarly, you need one for your login, and then you also need for logout. So these three is mandatory, and then we are going to create a auth middleware. So what middleware does, right? So for example, let's say whenever I refresh this page, I need to get the information that whether the user is authenticated or not, and that auth middleware will handle. So we are going to store a token, and based on that token, if the token is valid, so that time we are going to understand that okay, the user is basically now authenticated, or else if the user is not authenticated, user will be redirected to the auth login page. So first what we'll do, simply go to your controllers and we'll start creating our controllers. Now here what I'm going to do, right, create a folder auth, and then I'll give auth controller.js. So first, as I already told you, that we need to do for register, we need to do for login, we need to do for logout, and also we need to do a for auth middleware, right? So first start with register. So this all will be a async method. So we'll do register, so we'll do async. Everything will give a request and response object. And now what we are going to do, right, first how we are going to write a route. So whenever you will do register, right, you need to think that what are the fields that I will be having in my register. So you notice too, you have a username, you have an email, and you have a password, and these three things you need to pass it from your client side to backend. So from where you will be getting, I'll be getting it from request.body. So in the body we are going to pass all of this data, correct? So that is the reason first you need to get this information from request.body. So this is first thing which is very important. And what are the things you need? So you need a username, correct? You need a email, and also you need a password. So you have an email, and then you will be having a password. So this is the first thing. Then what you are going to do, right, simply you take a try catch. So here you can simply log this, and then pass status. So response we need to pass, right, to our client side. So we pass a 500, and we'll do dot JSON. So what we'll do, right, we'll pass a success will be false, and we'll pass a message will be some error occurred. Okay, now this structure will be also same for your login also. So what I'm going to do, right, I'm going to copy this part, and then I'll create one more for our login. So we'll do login. Again this will be async, we'll get request response, and then we'll paste it here, and inside this obviously we are going to write the logic. So now once it will go to the try block, what you need to do, so first whatever password that user is typing, let's 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, that you need to hash, so that like you need to basically whenever you will store a password, the standardized ways you need to hash that password. Okay, so that is very important. So that is the reason, if you remember, we have installed this bcrypt.js. So I'm going to do bcrypt, okay, and this will be require. So I'm going to need bcrypt.js. Then we also need the JWT. So we'll do JWT, and I'm going to do require, and here we are going to do JSON web token, and also we need the user model. And if you see this model, based on this model we are going to tell this controller that okay, for this user schema you need to store user name, email, and password, and role. So you need this user, right? So we'll do user, and this will be again require. So we need to go to model, and then we need to go to user. So this will give you the user model. Now once this is done, so first thing you need to hash this password. So how you're going to hash it? So we'll do create here const hash password. We'll call this bcrypt, and this will give you this hash property. Also you need to use await, and we are going to basically tell that which thing that we want to hash. So you want to hash the password. Pass the password here, and also you need to pass a salt number, which I'll pass as 12. That's it. Then I'm going to create a new user. So I'll do new user, and this will be new user. This user is our user model. This model, right? This will have the username, email, and password, and role, correct? So in this user I'm going to pass username, we'll pass email and password, and we no need to pass the role because already we have a default value as user. Okay, so now this will create a new user, and then what you need to do, once you create a new user, you need to save this right in your database. So we'll do await, and we'll do new user that we have just now created dot save. So this will give you the save property which will save in your MongoDB database. See, Okay, and once this is done, so what you're going to do, right, you will pass a status property of 200 and you will tell that okay, in this that success will be true, and we are going to pass registration successful. Awesome. And this is all about all the things that you need. One more thing, sorry, my bad. Here you need to pass the hash password instead of this password. So we'll pass the hash password here. Okay. So now this is done. So this will store a data or basically user into your database. Now let's do one thing before we'll create this login and logout and auth middleware. So what we're going to do, right, we need to export this. So I'm going to do module dot exports, and I'm going to, for now I'm going to only export the register. Let's do one thing, let's keep this one register user instead of register. Okay, and then we're going to pass it here. So now the first controller you already created. Now first thing, you created a model, you created a controller. Now you need to create a route, right? So now what we'll do, right, we'll create a routes. Inside this we have a auth, and then I'll create auth routes dot js. So what you need to do, you need to basically tell that by which route I need to call which controller. It's simple as that. To create a route, the first thing you need the router, express router. So I'm going to create my router, which will be, so let me first get the express, which will be require, and I need express. So this express will give you this router, right? So this will create your router interface, you can say, and then you are going to call this router, and this will eject all the methods that you can use normal, like post, get, delete, put, something like that. Okay, so here I'm going to do like, okay, when I will do a register of an user, so that means I'm saving something in my database. I need to do a post method, not get, because I'm posting. So here we need to do slash register, means whenever I'll call this route from my front end, this register route, I need to call this register user controller. I hope you're getting. So this is the reason. So that means this route is linked to this controller. So first you need to get that, right? So we'll get it. So we'll do require, and here I'm going to go to my controllers, and we need to go to auth controller, and here we need our register user, correct? This will receive, and then we are going to pass it here, and this is done. So now we are basically telling that whenever I do a post method, post API call, with this API route I am calling this controller. Once everything is done, will it work? No. The reason is, in your server.js or basically your root file, you need to basically tell that okay, I want to run this auth router to a particular endpoint. So for this one you need to set up something here. So what you need to do, right, first you need to import that auth router. So I'm going to do auth router, and this will be require. So here what we're going to do, simply we'll go to routes, we'll go to auth, and then auth routes. So this will give us your auth router. Okay, and also one more thing we need to do, I think this we haven't done, and that is we need to export this router. This is very important. So we'll do module dot exports, and then I'm going to export this router here. So now we'll get our auth router, correct? And then what you need to do, simply just call this, or basically you need to use it. You see how we are using each and everything, right? So you need to tell that okay, use, and then here I'm going to call slash API slash auth. So I'm basically telling that whenever I'll go to this API route slash API slash auth, you call this auth router. Now I'm going to explain what exactly we are doing here. Let's save it. First, see whether we are receiving any error or not in the server. I think no, we're not receiving, or no, it's working fine, right? Yes. So I'm basically telling that this will be my main API route for auth. So /API/auth, I'm going to use auth router, and then it will go to auth routes and it will check /register. Means what I'm trying to say, that when I'll go to /API, right, then /auth, then /register user. So I'm telling that, okay, whenever I'll go to this route, you need to run this register user controller. Okay. Similarly, we'll do for /API/auth/ let's say login user, or not register user. Let's keep this on register and let's keep this on login. And this time I'll again tell that, okay, when I'll go to this route, now this time you call this login user auth controller. Okay, so this is what exactly we're doing, and you need to do this. This is very, very important. So now the basic setup is done for your server side, for your register. So now what we need to do, right, we need to create a user. So to create a user, we need to go to our Redux, and then we are already managing some state, right? So now what we can do, simply whenever I'll click on this button, I need to call this API, and then I need to store this user in our database. So let's do that in the next part. Alright, so let's start working on the front end part now. Okay, so now we will go to our client. Let's go to our pages, auth, and then register, right? So first thing, what we will check, that what we are getting in this form data. So let's log it, form data, and let's see what we are receiving first. So let's give name here, let's give an email, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, right? So we're getting this data here. So now what you need to do, whenever I'll click on the submit button, I need to call a async thunk. Now there are two ways you can do that. See, multiple ways I'm going to show you. So one is what you can do, right? See, for each and every API call, you no need to create async thunk. That is not required. If you want, you can organize like this. So what you can do, right, inside the source, you can create a services file, and in that services, you are going to basically write all kind of API call services logic, and then those services also you can basically use from here. That is absolutely fine. But here I'm going to show you that how we are going to do it using Redux. For that, let's go to our auth slice and then index. So if you see here, we already have is authenticated false, is loading true, and user information is null. So now here we are going to create our async thunk, right? So what we can do, right, let's do like this. So we'll create a method. So first we'll do export const, and let's give this one name as register user. Okay, and you can also give like register user action, but I think this is fine. We'll give register user. So this will be create async thunk, and here first you need to give an identifier. Okay, so I'll give this one a /auth/register, and after this we need to take a async function. Now this will receive the form data. So form data is nothing but this username, email, and password, whatever this user will be typing here. And so once they will receive the form data, so simply we'll create const response, and this will be await axios. So this will be post, and here we need to basically pass the URL. Now later we are going to modify all of this, but for now what we can do, right, simply let me just copy this path from here. I will show you what exactly we are doing. So first we need to take a localhost /5000. The reason is because the port is running on 5000. Then you need to go to /API/auth. Now this part is important to understand, because first we are going to the main API route or base API route, then we are going to /API/auth. So I'm going to copy this, paste it here, and then where you need to go, can you guess? I already told you. So this will basically run the main auth router, and then you have a child router. So /auth/register. That time you will call the register user. So you need to go to /API/auth/register. Okay, and then you need to pass the form data. So this form data that will be receiving, and also you need to pass the with credential. This will be true. That's it. All right, and now what we can do, simply we'll save it, and then we are going to return response.data, and this is done. Okay, so this will be your thunk that you need to call, that I'm going to show you. but here we need to manage some other things. So first thing what we need to do, we need to create an extra reducers property. Now this extra reducer will give you a builder, and based on this you'll be able to manage, like for example, what will happen whenever I'll call this, I'll be getting some data back, right? And that data I need to store in my state. So those things we are going to do in our extra reducers. So here what you're going to do, simply we'll need to do this builder.add case, right? So here you need to check like register user. So when this will be in the pending state, so it will give you 3 state: pending, fulfilled and rejected. So when this will be in the pending state, so it will give a state, and then you want to do something. For example, I want to do state.isLoading will be true. That means currently it is in the pending state. Dot add case, then we need to do this register user dot fulfilled. So that means when the API call is successful, that time what we need to do, so that time we'll do state.isLoading will be false, right? And then we also need to do state.user. Now you will be getting the user info, right? So from where we'll be getting, so this will also give you a action here, right? And here for now I'll keep this one as action.payload, but we need to check it what is coming. So this is one thing. Now next thing what we are going to do, we also have the is authenticated. Now when user will register for the first time, they will not be is authenticated true. They need to go to the login page, and again they need to basically enter the password and email. Then only they will be identified as authenticated. So here I'm going to do state.is or authenticated will be false. Then I'm going to copy this, paste it here, and this will be rejected. So loading will be true, user information will be null, and state.is authenticated will be false. Okay, so these 3 things we needed. So here what we have done, we have created our async thunk method, and also we have added all the builder use cases that based on what state what will happen. Now what we need to do, we need to somehow connect this with our like server. Means we need to call this on click of the sign up, we need to call this register user async thunk, as simple as that. So we can go to a register page, and here you can see that we are getting function on submit. So this will first will give us event, and then we need to first default it. So and these all are normal JavaScript concepts, so that is the reason I'm not explaining, like, or else what will happen when we'll click this button, it will refresh the page. Okay, so that is the reason we are doing this one. And now what we can do, simply we need to dispatch or basically call this register user. So what we can do, simply first we are going to take const, we'll do dispatch, and this will be use dispatch. And here what we can do, simply let me give enter, and we can simply do something like this. We'll do dispatch, and I'm going to call this register user from the auth slice. So from this one, this register user, and here what we need to do, we need to pass the form data. So we'll pass the form data here, and then what we are going to do, right, we'll simply navigate the user to the login page. Also I don't think we require to for this one, right, when this will be fulfilled, let's keep this on null only, because we are not going to store the user information in our state. So we'll keep this on null only, it's not required. So when this will happen, I'm going to simply navigate the user to the login page. So I think what is the name of this, I think it will be use navigate, yeah. And then I'm going to just do navigate, and I'll go to /auth/login, save it. Now I'm going to explain what we have done, right? So first, on click of this submit, we are dispatching this action dot, then if this is successful, we are going to navigate the user to the auth login page. And also you can check it, like if I just go to network tab, I'm going to give my name, then let's give a email, and I'll give 1 2 3 4 5 6. Let's click on sign up. Okay, we are getting some CORS error, and this part we need to check why we are getting this. So getting this is basically blocked, doesn't pass the access control origin header as a value that is not equal to the supplied origin. Okay, that means something we need to pass in our server side that is missing here. Alright, everyone, so the problem is actually here. We need to remove this slash after this. Okay, and then also one more thing I want to show you, that we are navigating to the login, right? So first let's see what we are getting here in this response. So in the data, so I'm going to log this data here. So let's save it, refresh this page. Now I'm going to give some dummy user for now. Okay, one, two, three, four, five, six. Now let's click on sign up. So you can see that if you noticed, you are getting a payload here, right? This is the I'm talking about. So success true and registration is now successful. And if you go to browse collection, so you will be able to see the data. So you have a user collection and there is a data. So dummy email is this, password is this, and role is by default user. That is fine. So now what you can do, right? Simply you can check if this data.payload.success, if this is true. So we'll check if this data.payload.success, if this is true, then only I'll navigate the user to the auth/login page. Okay, and this is done. So now let's save it. So now let's see, refresh this page. So I'm going to add my name here now. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's click on sign up. So it's going to the login page. Now there are quite a few things that we can do. Something like we can add a toast, that we are going to do, but I just want to first show you. Now very important thing what we need to do, right? We need to show some kind of notification. So you're going to do everything, each and everything step by step. So first we'll go to toast. So we'll do something like this, and let's add this component also. So let's go to client and let's paste it here. So how this will work, right? First we need to basically use this in our main component. So you have a like if you go to the main.jsx, right? So here, so you can basically add it here. So what we can do, simply you can pass this toaster component here, and this we need to import, save it, and then what we can do, simply you can also add it in your app component, that will also work. Let's go to our register, and then I'm going to use this. So we have a use toast hook that we need to import, and this will give you a toast property. So first thing what you can do, you can simply show here, right, that if this is successful, so it'll display toast. And I think we need to display title here. I'm thinking we have a title and description, so we'll show some title like title, like registration. You can also display the message, because we are already returning the message, right, from our backend. So if I show you, if I go to this controller, right, so you have a message that success is true and message registration is successful. So this also we can show here. And this is done. So let's see if this is working or not. Sometimes this can give some error. Okay, something is going wrong here, I think. Okay, I think we need to use some kind of, no, I think this is fine. Let's go to register first. Now I'm going to create another user. Okay, let's click on sign up, registration successful, and then you're going to the login page. See, here we are coming. I'll be able to close it, that is fine, but the main registration functionality is done. Now once the registration is done, as I already told you, the user is not authenticated still. See, if you try to go to admin page, you will be in this page. So we need to log in, and once the user is logged in, we need to store a cookie, and based on that cookie we are going to basically redirect the user to the either shopping page or the admin page based on user role. So for this one very important thing that we are going to do now in this part, and that is how you can manage admin user. Now see, there are multiple ways you can do that, many ways. So what we are going to do, right, normally in large application how these things works, I'll tell you. So we have something called CCM. So what CCM basically does, right, so we have a super admin. So super admin has access to add multiple admins, something like that. So we have a CCM admin panel, and there you need to manually configure all the admin related information. So this is how we exactly work. Okay, so you can search it on Google, that some kind of CCM tools and everything. Normally very large applications, very large companies using CCM. But for now what we are going to do, right, we will, so if I refresh this page here, first thing, and this is very important, as again I'm repeating that we can do multiple ways. Okay, so here we can, so I have my account, right, sangammukherjee@gmail.com. so here I'm going to manually update this one for now. Later I'll show you how many other ways we can do that. So we'll make this user as admin. So this is called manually updating in your database. This is also absolutely fine, there is nothing wrong with it. If you don't want to have multiple admins, now there are two scenarios. So you can have also three things, like first thing is your shopping view, then you can have multiple admins, and then you have a super admin. So super admin can super admin can control your multiple admins, and admin can controls the users, so something like that. But here we are going to only keep only one admin, and based on that we are going to do it, and you can tell this user as a kind of a super admin. Okay, so this is a very important step. So now what we are going to do, right, we'll do the login functionality, and once user logged in, so we have a Sangam Mukherjee who is a admin, and then we have a Sangam1 who is a user, and based on these two things we need to basically check whether user is redirecting to the correct page or not. So that we are going to do in the next part. So now we will start working on the login controller. Okay, so step by step again we are going to do. So first we'll create our controller, we'll go to routes, we'll use that route, we already use the auth router here. Then we'll go to our slice, and then we will create our async thunk, and then we are going to call that from our component. So this is the whole process that what we are doing, and the same process we are going to do throughout this particular video. And see if you notice my videos, right, the way I actually explain, I try to keep things simple, and the reason is because it's not about like doing some fancy projects and then using some fancy libraries. When you'll go to a real life project, right, and any companies, believe me or not, I worked in multiple service based and both product based companies. See, they don't want to use like very fancy things and everything. There you need to know the very basics. It's not about you will get like very large project all the time. Sometimes what will happen, right, you'll get this kind of project, like some of the projects is already done and you need to basically do a code fixes on top of it. That means whenever you will do a code fix, you need to understand someone else code. So it's not about always creating a brand new project. You need to understand, and how you'll understand when you'll do the same thing again and again, that time it will be very easy. Okay, so this is the way you should learn all the things. I see in YouTube there are many channels that created very fancy projects, TypeScript, Prisma, this and that. If you go to any large companies, right, most of the time they will try to keep the technology very simple. Believe me or not, if you go there, right, you will understand and you can comment down. Okay, and basically you need to understand or master one thing very clearly so that you'll be able to do it. Sorry about taking some time, but I thought it would be very important to discuss this kind of thing. Okay, don't try to run always for like very complex project. First do the same thing again and again and try to do the things in a simple way, and that will help you in a long run. Okay, now for this login, what you're going to do, so this will be again the same process. So I'm going to copy this, and for login, instead of this login and username, we will be getting email and password only, right? We don't need username. So this is the first step. And if you notice, all the things will be almost same, identical. Now in the try block, first thing what you need to check. See, when user is actually logging in, first you need to show whether this user is already exist or not. And how you're going to check it? You will be checking it using email, because email will be always unique. So if you go to the model, right, let's go to the model. Email is already I've given unique, right? So you can't register with same email. So what we're going to do, simply let's go to where was that controller. Okay, first if I do const, and then let me just quickly show you one more thing. I think it's important to do that. If it's not working, then we need to add something. I thought it would be better to check it. Let's go to the register page once. Okay, and then we'll go to network, and then I'll give some random name here, and I'll give sangam@gmail.com 1 2 3 4 5 6. Let's try to click on sign up, and if noticed here, what is happening? Some error occurred. Now here the point is, if I go to this error, right, let's go here, and you can see that you are getting error message, that duplicate key error collection, and there is a key pattern, and also there is a key value. And this is happening, why, you know, I'll tell you. The reason is because in our model we have kept this email as unique, so we'll not be able to do it. So what will be better, right? We can actually send this error also, right? Or else there is another way that we can do. Simply let's do it. Actually, I think that will be better. So what we can do, simply we can check here when we are hashing before this. So we'll do const, so we'll check user, and here we are going to do await, then we are having user, and then we are going to do find one, and we're going to pass this email, right? So if this check user, if this is true, that means this user is already exist. So we are going to return res.json, or let's directly I think we can return the message only. So we'll return a success will be false, and we are going to return a message will be user already exists with the same email. Okay, please try again. Okay, so now let's save it. Now let's go to register page, and if you see here, we're checking if this is success is true, or else what we'll do, we'll simply render the toast here with the same message. So now what will happen this time, if you try to log in with the same user and let's try to sign up, user already exists with the same email, please try again. Also you can also pass a variant here which will be destructive, I think something like that, destructive. Let's save it. Now let's close it. See, you're getting this one. You can also reset this form, everything is correct. You can also keep it. I think it will be better to keep it, because if you reset this, then user needs to again write all of this username and password, so they can simply just change the email and they can sign up, right? I hope you're getting. So let's not reset this one. So now let's go to the login page. I thought that will be a better way to do this one, to handle that. Okay, now everything is done for register. Let's go back to the login. So now again what we'll do, right, similar thing we need to check. For login it will be opposite, because for register we need to check if this email is already exist or not. For login, what we'll check, that if this user doesn't exist, that means you don't have your account only. So first you need to create an account. So what will happen, we'll check if this is not false, this check user. So we can simply return res.json, we'll return success will be false, and we'll return a message like user doesn't exists. Okay, so please register first. That's it. So this is the first step, and then we need to check your password, right? That when you enter your password in your login time, you need to check that the password that you are having here and the password you are entering here both are same or not, right? So that we need to check. So we'll do const check password match, and simply just call await, and we're going to do this bcrypt, and this will give you this compare method. And here what you can do, simply you can pass this password that user is typing and the user password that is already exist in your database. But how you're going to get that? So you'll be getting this check user. So this check user will give you the password. So here we're going to do check user dot password. Okay, if this check password match, if this is false, that means the password that you entered, that is wrong. So what will happen, we're going to return again error. So we'll do success will be false, and we'll do password is incorrect. We'll do invalid or incorrect password. Please try again. That's it. So this is one more step, and after this, if both are done, if both the things are correct, means what will happen, we are going to create our token. So we'll do create token, and we'll do jwt.sign. So this will give a method, and here what we are going to pass, we are going to pass the ID. So ID will be my check user dot ID. Okay, also we are going to pass the role. Role will be my check user dot role. All right, and also we are going to pass the email, which will be the check user dot email. That's it. So this will create your token. Now here what will happen, right, you need to also pass a secret key here, and now you can pass any key you want, but for now what I'll pass, I'll simply pass a client secret key. This has to be secret as the name suggests, and here you can pass a property that how much time you want to keep this token active. So here the so this will be expires. So best is like you can keep it like max 15 minutes or 30 minutes. I'll keep this on for now 60 minutes because we need to work on the development, right? Later we'll change this on. So here we'll keep this on 60 minutes, not minute, it will be 60 minutes like that. That's it. Now this will create your token. Now once the token is created, right, what you need to do, simply we'll do response.cookie, and here you are going to store this token, and this will be your token that you have created, right? And you need to pass some properties, like you can pass something like HTTP only. We'll keep this on as true for now, and you can pass the secure is false. And then once all of this is done, then we're going to pass JSON, and here I'm going to pass success will be true, message will be logged in successfully, and here you can pass some properties, like what you can pass, right? Let's pass all of this. We'll pass user info. Let's pass this user here object. Okay, and then what you can do, you can simply pass the email, which will be check user dot email. Then you're going to pass the role, which will be check user dot role, right? And also you're going to pass the ID, which will be check user dot ID. Okay, that's it. So now this is done. Now let's save it. So you can see what we've done. We are going to change all of this also later. So HTTP only, we can keep it false, and you can keep the secret as true, but just now for dev purpose, if you're doing for the first time or you're like basic to intermediate level, first you should understand all of this concept first, how you can store a cookie and those things. Now what will happen, we have created the method, login method, and let's do this one as login user. And once we have done this one, next step by step, so you need to pass it here again. Once you pass it again, you need to go to auth routes, and then you need to get it, right? So you will get login user, and you need to again create one more API route, and for this one, this also will be a post method, and here I'm going to pass login, and this will be my login user, right? This is done. Let's save it. Now where do we need to go? We need to go to our async thunk. Now here I'm not going to write all of this again. I'm going to just copy it from here, register user, and I'm going to pass it here, and let's make this one as login user. Okay, now everything will be exactly same. You just need to change the identifier. So this will be auth/login. So this will be unique identifier, and instead of auth/register, because just now we have given, right, so we have given /login, so this will be API/auth. So if I show you once again, so this will be API/auth, and then it will be /login. Okay, so this is what exactly we're doing. So API/auth/login, and with credential you need to give as true. Save it. So now what you need to do, so we have created all of this. Now you need to create 3 cases one more time. Now I'll copy all of this once again, and paste it here. So now here we need to do login user dot pending. So is loading will be true, login user dot fulfilled. So when the user is authenticated, that time what we need to do, the is authenticated will be what, from false to true, correct? And the state dot user, so here I'm going to do, for now I'm going to keep actions dot payload, but we need to change this one. So for this one I'm going to log this here also, that what we are getting in this action dot payload, or else we can log it in our component, that is fine. And when this is rejected, for example in any way this login user get rejected, so we'll keep this on false, user will be null, and is authenticated also will be false. Okay, so now let's save it and let's see what is happening. So now what we need to do, we need to basically go to our login page. Where is login page? Okay, again here we have on submit, so we'll take an event and we'll do event dot prevent default, and we need to again take our dispatch, so the const dispatch, which will be use dispatch, and here we are going to do dispatch and we'll do login user, correct? And we're going to pass the form data dot then, so we're going to get the data, and first we're going to log this data here, and let's see what is happening first. Let's save it and let's do something here. So I'm going to give this sangam@gmail.com and 1 2 3 4 5 6. Let's click on sign in. So you can see that it's already fulfilled, and in the payload we are getting user, very important, right? You can see action.payload.user. So if you go to this, right, if I go to here in this login user.fulfilled, and if I just log this action, you'll see the same thing is coming here also. So save it and let's see what is happening. So I'll pass, I'll do sangam@gmail.com and I'll do 1 2 3 4 5 6. Notice if I click on sign in, see in your action also will be getting action.payload.user. Okay, so this is what we need to save. So here instead of action.payload we'll do action.payload.user. I hope you are getting right. And then what you're going to do now, let's go to here, and here we don't have to do anything, simply we can check something like this. So here we'll check if this data dot payload dot success. So if this is true, so we're going to get our toast. So we'll do use toast, and I'm going to do here toast, right? So if this is true, so we're going to do toast, and we're going to show a title. So title I will show the message one, right? We already have message, payload dot message. Else if this is false, so we'll render the same thing, but we need to add a variant. So I'll add a variant and I'll do destructive, and I think this is done. Now one very important thing we need to do, I'm not sure whether you remember. See, if I go to this page now, right, app.jsx, remember we have hard coded these two things. See, now we no need to hard code. Why? Because we already have these already stored in our state, right? So go here, and then what we can do, right, simply we can take it from where we can do use selector, and we'll do state, and then what we need to do, what is the name that we have given? We have auth. So this is my reducer name, right, auth. So this will be my state dot auth, and what we'll get, we will get, let's close this, so we'll get our is authenticated and also user, both. So we'll get is authenticated and also we'll get user. Now see, the moment I'll just save this, what will happen? If I go here, right, let's go here and let's give some value and try to sign in. User doesn't exist, but it's going to this page, and this part we need to check. Okay, why this is happening? This is very weird. Okay, this part we need to check it. This is wrong. Something we have done wrong here. So this part we need to check. I think something we are doing wrong here, because okay, let's go here. I think we are returning this success false message. Oh, okay, I got it now. So what we are doing right in this login, when it is getting fulfilled, we are directly making this is authenticated as true. We should not do this one. So what we should do, if this action.payload, so first let's log this action let's log this action and let's see what is happening, right? We'll go to auth login, and then let's open console, and what I'm going to do, right, I'll give some wrong here, and let's click on sign in. So we see here we are getting fulfilled, that is fine, but we are getting a success as false. So here we can check that if this action dot payload, and then we are having this, oh sorry, so we're having this success, right? So action dot payload, if this is false, so in that case, so if this is false, what we'll do, we'll keep this on null, or else this will be this. Same for this one, if this is false, so if this is false, right, so is authenticated will be false, or else this will be true. I think this should work now. Let's see what is happening. Now let's see, if I try to give some wrong, let's click on sign up. User doesn't exist, please register first. And if I give sangam@gmail.com, this user is exist, but I'll give some wrong password here. Let's try to sign in. Incorrect password, please try again. Let's try one more time. Sign in. I think we'll be getting success false, right? Correct. But if I try to give a correct password, 1 2 3 4 5 6, let's click on sign in. Now this time we'll be getting success true and user information. So okay, let's do one thing. I think instead of doing opposite, we'll do, if this is true, then only I'll save this user, or else I'll keep this on null. And for this one also, so if the success is true, this will be true, or else we're going to give this one false, right? This is fine. Now what you can do, you can also keep it like this, like if this is actions.payload.success, so it will be either true or false, right? And when this is getting rejected, that time it will be null or false. This will also work. So now let's refresh this page, and then I'm going to give sangam@gmail.com, correct, but I'll give some wrong password here. Let's click on sign in. Incorrect password, please try again. If I give some wrong email, try to sign in, user doesn't exist. But if I give some correct, 1 2 3 4 5 6, click on sign in, we're going to the admin dashboard page. If you noticed here, this we don't have to do anything now, because we already handled all of this in our app.jsx. So if I go to app.jsx, right, you remember we have done this check auth, and in this component we are basically checking all the things. If the user is admin user, then redirect this user to the admin dashboard page and see what is happening. But now the main thing will come, where we need to create our middleware. So middleware will basically check before the page is getting rendered, right, whether we need to render this page or not, or we will be redirecting this user to some other page. Now the user is already logged in, correct? But if I try to refresh this page, see what will happen. I'll refresh this, user is going to the auth login page, and this is completely wrong, right? This should not happen. So every time the user will refresh the page, we need to check that whether the user is authenticated or not, and also whether the token is valid or not, because we have a token here in this controller where we have given the time as 60 minutes. Obviously we're going to change this one later when we'll do improvisation in the later part of this video. We'll give this on 10 to 15 minutes. But now somehow we need to check that whether user is authenticated or not. One more thing I want to show you, that if you see that we have one more user, Sangam1, and this user is not an admin user. if you go here, right, Sangam1 is a normal user. See what will happen if I try to log in. Instead of going to the admin page, it will go to the SOC page. See, it's going to the SOC page. Awesome, right? But again, if you refresh this page, it's going to the auth login page. And this we need to, obviously we need to fix this. So let's do this one in the next video. So what we're going to do, right, we'll be creating a middleware, and then every time user refreshes the page, we need to check the auth status. And for this one also, we need to use create async thunk, and that is very, very important, right? Because we need to check that before the DOM is getting rendered or DOM is getting pinned in our browser. So let's do that in the next part. So let's start working on the middleware part. So before that, I'm going to create one more that is for logout, and this is pretty simple. Okay, so let's quickly do this one. So we'll do const logout, and here we don't have to do anything. We'll just take request and response, and we'll simply going to clear the cookie. So we'll do res.clear cookie, and here we're going to clear the token because this is the key name that we have given here, right? We have token, and once we'll clear the token, we'll simply pass a JSON, and here we can do success is true, and we'll do message which will be logged out successfully. Awesome, that's it, and this is what we need, and then we'll pass this logout here. Okay, now coming to next one, and that is we need to basically create a auth middleware here. Okay, that will check our auth status every time user will do some action like refreshing the page and everything. So we'll do auth middleware. So this will be async, and here we need request, response, and also the next property. Now again, if all of this you are not able to understand, please check the official doc, and if you want me to create very basic level of this video, then I can create the theoretical video also based on this. Okay, now here the first thing we need to get the token, but how we are going to get the token? Because remember we have stored the token in cookie, right? So from cookies we need to get it. So we'll do const token, and this will be request.cookies, and then you need to give the key name which is our token. Okay, now if this token is not present, so what we'll do, return response.status 401.json. so what will return? Success will be definitely false, and message we are going to return the unauthorized user. That's it. If the token is not present, correct, definitely user will not be able to access. Then we'll take a try block, and now what we need to do, we need to decode this token. This is very important because see what will happen, right? This token is basically keep this all this info. This token hold the ID of that user, role of that user, and email of this user. So when we'll decode this token, we'll get all this information back because currently the token is encrypted. So we need to decrypt. So how we are going to do that? So we'll do decoded. So decode the token, right? So we'll do simply here jwt.verify, right? And you need to pass the token that you just received from your here. So this is the token, but how we are going to verify it? You need to pass that secret key that we have used, and here actually this is where it helps, this client secret key, right? So this you need to pass it. Now once this will decode this one, right? So we'll do request.user, and this will be decoded, and then what we'll do, simply we'll do next, and we'll call this method. That's it. Now this is done, and then in the catch block we'll take error, and we'll do res.status, we'll do 401, and we're going to render the same message. Okay, and I think this is done. So now this will be our auth middleware. Now you're going to pass it here, right? So this will return you the user information. Okay, request.user. But how we are going to use this? So now you need to use this, correct? So to use this one, again you need to go to our auth routes. Now this will basically, we need to create one more, but before that let's first import our logout here, and also you're going to import auth middleware. And for logout, this also will be a post. So we'll simply do logout, and we'll pass the logout. logout user. I think let's keep logout user. I think this will be consistent, and we'll do this on logout user and also pass here logout user. Now we need to do the auth middleware logic. So what we'll do, right, this will be a get method because we need to get the status. So here we will pass check auth. Okay, you can give any name you want. Now you need to pass the middleware or handler. So we'll pass the auth middleware, and this will give you the again request and response, and then we'll get the user, right? So we'll do const user, which will be request.user. Now from where this is coming, again we have passed this request.user, the decoded from our token, correct? So this is what we are getting, request.user, and then simply do res.json. Sorry, we'll do res.status, we'll do 200.json. So we'll do success will be true, and also we are going to pass message user is authenticated, or let's keep authenticated user, and also we are going to pass our user information, right? So we'll pass the user here. If you notice that if while login we also pass the user this information, so the same will pass it here, so that we'll be able to understand. Also one more thing, you can pass like is authenticated as true, but that also we can manage it. Like here also you can pass like is authenticated as true, but how we are going to check it again, because if you go to our here, right, so we are simply checking this actions.payload is success. If this is true, means user is actually authenticated, and this is what we have passed, right, the success is true. So now this actually is done. But how we are going to do it? Now again, to do this one, we need to create one more async thunk, right? And that is very, very important. And then once we create that async thunk, we need to again check it on page load. So every time user will do some kind of page load, we need to do that. So for this one, I'll copy this and let's paste it here. And this one I'm going to do check auth, and I'll give this on auth/check auth. Now here what we need to do, we need to get that out. So we have API/auth/check auth, correct? So we need to remove and paste it here, right? This will be a get method definitely, so we no need to pass this one. So form data is not required here. So after this, what we are going to pass, we'll pass the with credentials. Sorry, we need to take this one. So look, with credentials will be true. And also we can pass some form data, like we can pass some headers. So here what we're going to do, right, we pass cache control. So cache control, what we can do, we can no store, we don't want to store any cache, so we'll do no store, no cache, right? And also we'll do must revalidate, and also we're going to do proxy revalidate. Okay, and that's it. And we can also pass something like expires as 0, and also you no need this one. Let's only pass the headers and let's see what is happening, because we already passed the with credentials as true, right? Now let's save it. Now what will happen, we are going to again add some cases for this. So we will first copy this, paste it here. So we have now check auth dot pending, so is loading will be true, check auth dot fulfilled. Again, is loading will be false, state dot user will be if success, so will payload, or else this will be null. Authenticated will be if this is success, means it will be successful. And this is what we have done, right, this one. And then we are having the rejected. So for rejected, is login will be false, state user will be null, and is authenticated will be false. Let's save it. So now what we are going to do, we have created this method check auth, but we need to now dispatch this method every time user will basically load this page. But what is the best place to do this one? Because we can do this simply in the app.jsx, because this is the home page, right? This is where all the logic exists. So what I can do simply, here we are already getting this, we'll take a dispatch, so do const dispatch and this will be use dispatch. So what we can do, simply we'll take a use effect, and then we can simply dispatch this. So we'll do dispatch and we'll do check auth from our slice. Now let's save it and let's see what is happening. Awesome. It's kind of like it's immediately working. The reason is because we have done almost everything. So now what is happening, right? If I just open the network, you'll be able to understand very easily. See, every time you refresh this page, right, it is checking the auth, and here you can see we're getting authenticated user, and also you're getting the user information here, email, ID, role, expires, and everything. If you try to go to the auth page now, see what will happen. See, it's going to the shopping home page, right? Even if you don't you can't go to the register page, it will be always being going to this page. Now we can do some more thing here. So what we can do, right, we have something like loading property here, right? This loading, so this loading we can get it here from our state, and then if this loading is true, so if this is loading is true, we'll simply return a div and we'll return a loading, something like that. Okay, so now let's try to go to the auth login. See, it's going to this page. Auth register, it's going to this page. Even you don't access the admin view, because you'll be always going to the shop view, because you don't have access to that page, correct? So this is done. Awesome. So now what we can do, simply we can basically create the logout method also, but that we are going to do later. But first thing what I want to do, I want to show you one more thing, and that is if I go to the application and go to cookies, right, you can see there is a token is getting stored. So this is where, and also there is a expires, we have session, and you can basically, again I'm repeating, you can change the this expires this time here. If you give 5 minutes, 2 minutes, whatever you can basically give here. So this is how it will work. So now you will be able to go to the other pages also. Let's say I'll go to the products page. Okay, page doesn't exist. Let me check what is the route name. I forgot actually. Listing page I think we have given, right? I believe we are listing page we have given. So let's go to the listing page. Okay, I think something is going wrong here, because if I try to go to the listing page, right, it's going to the home page. Okay, so let's do one thing. Let's see what is coming in this is loading and also in the user. Let's go to check auth, and then I think I already logged here. Okay, let me just log only. Okay, let's log the location dot path name. Also I'll log the is authenticated. Let's save it and let's see what is happening. Okay, let's say try to go to the listing page. So we're getting false and null first time. That is correct, because it's getting false, and we are checking that if it is true, then only we are returning loading. So that means for the fraction of seconds this is getting false, right? So it's coming to this check auth component, and that time we are getting listing and is authenticated is false. So okay, I got it. So now what is happening, it's coming to this, that is authenticated false, and you are not in the login page. So that is the reason it's redirecting to the, I think, auth login page, correct? And then we are again getting true. Okay, to fix this one, there are multiple ways we can do that. I think the easy will be, what we can do, right, simply we'll keep this is loading as true on page load, because anyway the is loading we are making false in every instance, right? If it is pending and fulfilled, we are making it false on register. Then for login also we are making it false, and also for check auth we are making it false in case of it's like error or something. Now I think this should work. So now let's see. Okay, now I try to go to the listing page. It's going to the listing page. Now it's not coming in there only, right? See, now it's coming here. And also if I go to this one, okay, let's log this is authenticated. I think it's coming true. Awesome. Now I think this is fine. Now if I try to go to the admin dashboard, it's go to the unauth page. It's going to the unauth page. Now to check this, what we can do, we can also clear the cookie, And now let's try to go to the shopping page. It should go to the auth page. Awesome, now it's working. Now we'll go to the shop listing page. It's going to the auth login page. Now I try to sign in, so it's getting login successful, and we are getting this one. Let's say go to the checkout page. It's going to the checkout page. Awesome, now I think this is working. Now what we can do, right, we can replace with this loader. I think we have this skeleton loader, right? See, something like this. This we can do, but later we are going to make it look little nicer. For now what I can do, right, let me first install this one. Sorry, let me install this first, just to checking purpose, and I'm going to paste it here. Oh, sorry. And then let's import it, and let's go to our app.jsx, and I'm going to import this one here, and then let's return this skeleton. So let's copy this. Instead of this, I'm going to return this skeleton component with let's see how it's coming. Like if I give width, let's say 600px, and height 600px, rounded full, let's save it, and let's see, refresh this. We are getting this one. Also we can remove the rounded full one. I think this is not required, and let's see how this is looking. Okay, it's happening very fast, but we can check it. See, now it's coming for some time, right? What will happen if I give width full? Let's give width 800, and let's give a BG background black. Let's see now. It's coming for some time. It's not able to see. Yeah, it's coming, right? I think it's fine. Let's check one more time, right? So we'll go to application, and let's clear this, and now try to refresh this. Okay, and now try to sign in. It's coming. Okay, awesome. So the loading screen is coming. That is what I want to check, but I'm going to make that one little like it will look nicer. So we'll create a common component, but for now the main authentication part is done. Now what we can do, right, we will be start working on the admin view first, right? So because until unless we'll complete the admin view features like adding new product, we will not be able to start the shopping view. The reason is once admin will add a product, then only we'll be able to display it in our UI, right? So that is the reason what I'll do right for now. So go to application, and again I'm going to delete this because we haven't implemented the logout for now. We are going to do this one in the next part. So now I'm going to refresh this. So it will go to the auth login page, and now I'm going to log in with my admin user. So this is my admin user, sign in. So now it's going to the admin page, correct? So this is my admin page. Now we'll not be able to access the shopping pages. If you see, it's going to the admin dashboard, then we'll be having admin products and everything, right? Awesome. So now we'll start working on the sidebar admin header first, and then after that we'll be start working on the Cloudinary to store our images and to create a new product. So a lot of things to do. So let's start working on these things from the next part. So let's create the admin header and the sidebar component. All right, so for now I'm going to close everything else, and then we will go to admin view, and then we have a header, and also we have a sidebar. All right, because we have already imported both in our layout component. So let's start with our header component, right? So I'm going to remove this part from here, and let's take a header. Let's give a class name. So we'll do flex, we'll do item center, we'll do justify between px of 4, py of 3, we'll do bg background, and also we'll do border bottom. Okay, inside this we will take a button, and here what we're going to do, right? So let's use some hamburger menu from here. Yeah, kind of this one. So let's copy JSX, paste it here, and let's import it. For this button, first let's see how this is looking, and after this what we're going to do, right, we will take a span, and we'll do toggle menu, and this one we are going to take a class name. We'll do acer only, and for this button we'll take a class name, and for this one we will do large. For large device we'll make this one hidden, and for small we'll make this one block. So this is the first thing. Okay, so this is coming. Now after this, what we're going to do, right, we'll take a div and we'll take a class name. We'll do flex of 1, and we'll do justify. Let's make this one end, and here I'm going to take one more button, and let's give this one as logout. Let's use some other icon. So we have logout, and for this one let's use it here. Let's save it. Let's see how this is looking first. So you can see that we are having this logout button here, and this icon will be only visible for, see, smaller devices. Okay, so this is fine, and I think that's all we needed for this button. So sorry, for this component let's give some class name. I think to we'll make this one inline flex. We'll do gap of 2, we'll do item center rounded, let's make medium, px of 4, py of 2, text we'll do small, font medium, right? Let's give a shadow, and I think this will be fine. Let's save it. Let's see how this is looking. Yeah, awesome. So now this header is done. Next thing what we're going to do, we will be basically creating our sidebar, and then we need to manage something like whenever we will be in the smaller device, right, on click of this we need to open the sidebar on form of a seed component. So that we are going to do. So first let's create the sidebar structure first. Alright, so let's implement the sidebar. So here what we'll do, right, we'll take a fragment, and the first thing we will take a aside component, and inside this we are going to take a div. So let's take a class name for this one. So we'll make this one hidden, width of 64. Let's make this flex as column. We'll do border right, bg background, padding of 6, 24px, and for large we are going to display as flex. For other we are keeping this one as hidden. Okay, inside this div we'll take a class name. So we'll do flex item center gap of 2, and here what we'll do, right, we can give some icon, or else let's take some h1, and what we can do, let's display some like admin panel. Okay, first let's see how this is looking. So you can see that we are getting this admin panel, and let's use some random icon, right? I think it's not required, like we need to give some icon. Let's give some cool icon. Let's search some admin. Let's see admin is there or not. Okay, let's search for analytics. Yeah, I think this one we can use, right? It's up to you, like if you want to use, you can use any icon here. So we'll use this one. Let's save it. Let's see how this is looking. Okay, and for this one we'll do a class name. We'll do text, let's see, Excel font extra bold. For this one let's give a size of 30. Let's see how this is looking. Okay, awesome. And also we are going to give this one cursor pointer. The reason is we also will take navigate. So this will be use navigate, and on click of this, right, we will navigate to the admin dashboard. So look, admin / dashboard. Okay, so let's say if I try to go to the products, so click here, it's going to the admin dashboard. Awesome. Now after this what we will do, so we have this h1. So after this we are going to create a menu items component. So let's do one thing, let's create this here only. So we'll do menu items, because we will be only using this one in this component, so I don't see any point of creating in a different component. Now what we're going to do, we'll go to our config. Let's go to index and let's export some config here. So we'll do admin sidebar menu items, right? So for each and every one we'll give an ID. So ID will be dashboard, right? Label will be dashboard, and also we're going to give a path which will be /admin/dashboard. Okay, now let's copy this and paste it 2 more times. For now we'll keep only 3. So this I will keep this one as products, and this will be also products, and this I'll give orders. So this will be orders, and this also will be orders. Let's save it. Now let's go there. So in this menu items we'll return a nav. Let's take a class name. So we'll do margin top of 8, flex column flex, and gap of 3. Let's make 2. And now what we're going to do, right, we will map this admin sidebar menu items. So we'll do admin sidebar menu items dot map. So we'll do menu item, and we'll render a div, and here we will take a class name. So for this one we'll do flex item center gap of 2. We'll do rounded medium px of 3, py of 2, and I think this is fine. Now inside this what we'll do, we'll render the icon. Okay, one more thing what we can do, right, we can also use some icon from here. So let me search something like dashboard. Let's see what you're getting. Okay, let's use this, and we'll go here, and also I'm going to render some icon here. Okay, then we have products. There is search for product. Let's see what you're getting. Okay, let's use this one. So we'll give icon, which will be the shopping basket. Also we have orders. So for orders, let's use something order. Let's see how it's coming. Anything is there or not. Okay, I don't think it's very see, this is the only thing that I don't like, actually spending so much time. So let's use some random. Let's anything. I know I'm not sure which one is looking good, but let's use this one. Okay, I know these all are not relevant, but there is no point spending time on this. Okay, this is fine. Now what we're going to do, right, so here we'll simply render that menu item dot icon, and after this what we'll do, we'll take a span, and I'm going to render menu item dot label, and here we will take a key which will be menu item dot id, and also we'll take a on click. So on click of this I will do navigate to menu item dot path. Now obviously we need to pass the navigate, so let's do one thing. I think we can use the same here, or else you can also pass it. I think anything is fine. Let's use it here only instead of passing it. Use it here. Okay, now let's save it, and now what we're going to do, right, simply we will render this after this. So after this we are going to render the menu items. First let's see how this is looking, and based on that we will change it. So let's, okay, something is happening here that we need to check. Unexpected token. All right. Oh, okay, I got it. So this will not allow. Sorry, this is my bad. It will not allow here because we need to write it inside JSX. So what we can do, right, we can use it inside that component only. I think there is no point. So what I'll do, this I'll remove from here, and let's use it here only, and then I'm going to import all of this. Okay, now let's save it. Now let's see. Okay, for dashboard it is not coming. This is weird actually, not sure why it's not coming. Let's use some different and let's see. So let's search for analytics. Let's use this one. Oh sorry, I have done icon, that is the reason. Okay, now this looks okay, but what we're going to do, right, we will keep this on, make this on this text, we'll add some more style here. So let's add this text muted foreground, and for hover we'll give VG muted, right, and hover will give text foreground. Okay, and also you need to give text, let's do text Excel, and let's see how this is looking. Okay, this is fine. For this one, right, also you need to give cursor pointer, and then here this one I'll make this one, let's do 3 Excel. Let's do 2. Okay, now let's click here. So it's working fine, right? So now what we need to do, right, because when we'll go for smaller device we need to hide this, so it's already hiding, right, and on click of this we need to open the seat component. So that is pretty simple. What you can do, right, after this we are going to take a seat component here. Now this will take some of the props from our parent component. So we'll take open, set open. So here I'll keep the, so in this we need to pass a, okay, first let me import it. I think, okay, we already imported. So open, we need to pass here open, and also on open change. Okay, that is the reason this thing is not working. We have imported it from wrong place, so we need to import it from, I don't think we have installed the seat component, right, so we need to do it. So let's see. So let me just copy this and install it, because this will need some, either you can use some seat trigger that you can use, but we will use this state. So I think it's almost done. Let's wait for some time. Okay, it's done. So now let's open import this, and now this will take an on open change where I'll pass this set open. Now inside this we will be having the seat content. So here you can basically mention the side. So we're going to open this on left side, and for class name we are going to do width as 64. Inside this we'll take a div, we'll do class name, we'll do flex column, and also we're going to do height as full. After this we will take seat header, and here we'll give us some class name. So we'll give border bottom. Alright, and here we'll give a seat title, and I'll do here admin panel, and let's use the same icon that we have used, this one. Okay, and after this so after this header we are going to render the menu items. Save it. Now obviously this will not work because we need to pass this from our parent component. So what we'll do, right, simply we'll take a state in this layout. So we'll do open sidebar, set open sidebar, and this will be use state of false. So in this sidebar I'm going to pass the open, which will be open sidebar, and set open, which will be set open sidebar. And also we need to pass this in this admin header component also. Now let's save it and let's go to the admin header. and here what we'll receive that set open method. And now because we have this button where on click of this we need to show it, so what you can do, simply we'll take on click and we'll make this set open as true. That's it, right? And now if you notice and go there, so this will work. See, it's working. Now this part we need to check. So what you can do, okay, let's go to this part. So we have sidebar and then we have this one, right? So what you can do, we'll give a class name here. So we'll do flex and gap of 2 and we'll keep this one in a span, or we can use the same, right? Let's see how this is looking. Based on that we'll change it. Okay, this is okay, but let's give some margin top I'll give 5. Also I'm going to give margin bottom as 4. Let's give 5 only. Okay, now this is working. Now on click of these menu items we can also change this one, right? That part also we can do. So what you can do, right here we can pass this set open and we'll pass this set open in this menu items. Let's go to this component, so we'll receive set open. Now what we can do, so first we will navigate and we will check if set open is there. So we'll do set open. So this I'll make false, or else this will be null. Or let's see what is happening. So if I click here, okay, this is not closing, this we need to remove. I think this is what you've done wrong. So okay, add dashboard and orders. Awesome, right? Now if I expand, now this is also working. And also let's try one more time, orders. Okay, so now this part is done. Next thing we will start working on the main thing, that is because we need first some kind of products, right? So that we'll be able to start working. So first we'll start working on the products page. So we need to create our add products set component that we are going to open on the right side. And also first thing we will be start implementing the image upload. So once the image is uploaded, we are going to upload that image to Cloudinary, and then we'll be getting an image URL, and that image URL we are going to store in our MongoDB database, correct? And once that is done, then we are going to fetch our list of products and we are going to render here. So a lot of things to do, so let's do that part in the next video. Alright everyone, so let's start working on the products page. Okay, so first we will go to our pages, then we have admin view, and then we have a products page, correct? So now let's close all of this and let's start working. Now from this video we are basically mainly starting most of the functionality. Okay, so we'll take a fragment, so we'll be having a button, and so we'll keep this on as, let's give a class name of margin bottom of 5. We'll keep flex and we'll do justify end. Here we'll take a button and we'll do add new product. Okay, let's save it. So we're getting this one here. This is fine. Now what we're going to do, right? I think let's do one thing. We'll make this one width full so that it will be on the right side. I think it's fine. You can also keep it here. Now after this we need to render the list of products, but we don't have any products created for now, so we'll just keep a placeholder. Okay, so we'll take a div, and here I'll take a class name, I'll do grid, we'll do gap of 4. For MD I will do grid columns of 3. Alright, and for large let's do this one, grid columns of 4. So this will be my placeholder. And after this, what we're going to do, right, we will be opening another sheet component for this. And now again, for this one, right, we need some configuration, because I already told you previous video that this kind of configuration we already discussed how to create the command form. So I'm not going to write all of this because this will take a lot of time, right? So I'm just going to show you that what exactly I have written. So I'll copy this, and also, to be honest, I also don't write personally, so I'll go to ChatGPT and then I'll tell to create all of this, because if you see, right, these things are extremely time consuming. Like, so if I just paste it here, right, so if you see, so we have a add products form elements. So products will have a title, the component type will be input, type is text. Now I don't have to say also, like, you'll be able to understand very easily. Description, again, this will be text area. Then category, then I have some men, women, kid, accessories, footwear. Then I have some popular brand, that's it. And then we have a price, which will be type of number, sell price, and total stock, that's it. So this is the main the form controls that we need to create a new product. I'll close this, and also now let's go here. So after this, I'm going to take another component, and let's do a, so we'll do open products, we'll do open create products dialog, and we'll do set open create products dialog, right? And then we're going to do use state of false. Now on click of this, we'll take a on click, and we'll do set open products open create products dialog true. And here we are going to pass the open, which will be our open create products dialog, and on open change. For now, what we'll do, right, we'll simply just do set open products dialog will be false. All right, now inside this, what we'll do, so we'll take a content, set content. So for this one, we are going to open this one on the right side, so we'll keep this one on right. Okay, that's it. And for class name, I'm going to give here overflow auto. After this, we'll take a header, and inside this we'll take a title, and let's give this one name as add new product. Awesome. So now let's see what is happening. If I click here, right, it's opening, it's looking nice. And after this, so after this, right, what we are going to do, we'll be rendering another component, which will be my our image upload component. And after that, we are going to render all our form elements. So here we'll take a div, and we'll take a class name, and we'll do py of 6, and inside this I'm going to render the common form, and here I'm going to pass the form controls, which will be my add product form elements. And also we need to take some form data, right? So we'll do form data, set form data, and this will be use state of initial form data, right, or initial state, whatever you can take here. So what we'll do, simply we'll take it here only, so we'll do const initial form data. So this will be, I think, something wrong. Okay, so here we'll have an image, which will be null, right? Then we'll be having a title, empty. Then we'll be having a description, which will be empty. Then we'll be having a category, empty. Then we'll have a brand. Then we will have a price. Okay, and let's keep this on string only, and we'll do sell price, and also we'll do total stock. Now we will pass our form data, which will be our form data, and set form data will be our set form data, right? And also need to pass a button text. So here I'm going to pass like add. And what else we need to pass? We also need to pass a on submit function. So we'll do function on submit, and we are going to pass it here. So we'll do on submit, which will be on submit. Let's save it. Now see the advantage. If I click here, right, see, I don't have to do anything, it's automatically created all of this. Okay, something is wrong here. This part we need to check. I think we have done something wrong in the select component. Let's go to this and let's see what is the problem is happening here. I think we have imported from the correct place only, but something is going wrong in the select part. So select trigger. Oh, sorry, this will be label. Yes, but still it's not coming correctly. Okay, you can see that select content we are importing from a wrong place. That is the problem. We need to import it from here. Now let's see. Yep. Okay, so now I think this is fine. So we have all the data, but we need to start working on upload image UI. So that part we are going to do. Okay, so now let's go to that and go to the admin section on the admin view inside components, and here let's create one more component, and I'll give this one name as image upload.jsx. So let's start working on this particular component. Alright, so let's start working on the image upload component. Okay, so we'll create the component and we'll give this one as let's give like product image upload. Let's return here a div, and we'll give a class name of width full, max wmd, and mx of auto. Okay, and inside this we'll take a label and we'll do upload image. Okay, and here we'll take a class name, so we'll do text as large, we'll do font semi bold, margin bottom of 2, and we'll do a block. First let's import this in our, so after this we are going to import here, so we'll do product image upload. So getting here. Okay, now after this what we will do, we'll take one more div, and inside this I'm going to render a input. So let's take a ID, so we'll do like image upload. Okay, type we are going to do file, class name we will do hidden, so we'll hide this one. Okay, also we need to take some on change, disable property, and also ref, but that we are going to do. Before that we need actually some kind of state here. Okay, so what we are going to do, right, we will be managing the state from our parent component, or basically in this component where we will be rendering the list of products. So we need here a couple of things. So first thing what we will do, we'll take here const, and we'll do here that image file, and we'll do set image file, and this will be use state of null. Okay, and what else we need, we also need one more, which will be our lastly uploaded image URL that we will be receiving from Cloudinary. So we'll keep this one name as like uploaded image URL, set uploaded image URL, and this will be use state of empty. Now these things we are going to pass, so let's pass it here. So we'll do the file, which will be our image file, and we'll do set file, which will be our set image file. Okay, and we'll do uploaded image URL will be uploaded image URL, and set uploaded image URL will be set uploaded image URL. Let's save it. Now we will be receiving these two as a prop in this component, correct? And also we are going to receive these two as a prop in this component. Awesome. Now what we'll do, we'll take an input ref here in this component. So we'll do input ref, which will be use ref of null. Okay, now what we are going to basically do in this input, first we'll pass a ref property, right? Okay, I think we are already logged out because it's over, so let me just log in once again. So ref, we are going to pass the input ref that we have created. Okay, I think we have given some wrong. Let's do input ref. So this will be our input ref, and also we need to pass on change. So we'll do on change, which will be handle image file change, right? So now let's create this. So we'll create this function. So now what we are going to do, right, in this handle this file change, we will be receiving an event. And first let's log here event.target.files. Let's see what is happening. So I'll go to products, click on add new product. I think we are getting some error. Let's see what is the error that we are receiving. Input 2 cannot be invoked without new. Okay, see, I'm doing this mistake every time. We have to import it from this one. That's the reason. So now let's click here. Okay, we actually need, because we are keep this on hidden, so let me just remove it for now. And see, if I select right, so now I have some images uploaded. So I'll select here. You can see we are getting a file list, and here we are getting all the information related that file. Okay, so this is just I want to show you. So now what we can do, simply in this handle image file change, we can simply get like selected file, something like that, which will be again image.target.files, right? And here we will be getting the first element. Now what we are going to do here, we'll simply check if this selected file is true. So we'll do set image file will be this selected file. Okay, so this is the first thing. Now after this, what we are going to do, so we'll come here, and then after this input we'll check that whether this image file is available or not, means whether user already selected any image or not. If yes, then in that case we will be showing the image related information, or else we need to basically show like drag and drop, or you can manually upload it. Okay, so how we are going to do that? So after this, right, we will simply check if not equal to image file. So we'll take a label, and inside this, what we are going to do, simply we need to take a HTML for here, right? So we'll do HTML for, and we are going to pass this image upload, or else if image is already there, so we are going to render something else. So in this label, what we are going to do, let's take a class name. So here we'll do flex column, we'll do item center, we'll do justify center, we'll do height of 32, and we'll do cursor as pointer. Okay, and inside this we are going to use this upload cloud icon. So let's take a class name here. So we'll do this one as width as 10, height as 10, we'll do text muted foreground and margin bottom of 2. And after this we'll take a span, and we'll do something like drag and drop, or click to upload image. Okay, so let's save it. Now we can basically make this one hidden once again. See, we are getting this one, right? Drag and drop or click to upload image. So this is fine. Now what we are going to do, right, also one more thing we need to do here, before this input in this div, we will take some class names. So we'll do border as 2, right, and here we'll do border dashed, we'll do rounded large, we'll do p of 4. What else? Let's see how this is looking. Let's save it. Yeah, and also for this one we'll take a margin top of 4. Okay, we are getting this one. This is fine. Now there are some more things we need to do. So in this div we are going to take two more event. So one will be on drag over. So here we'll do handle drag over, and also we'll do one more, that is on drop. So we'll do handle drop. Now these two we will quickly create. So one will be function handle drag over, and then will be function handle drop. Okay. So what we need to do, right, when user will do drag over, we can simply do here. So this will give us an event, and then we'll simply do event.prevent default here. So we'll do event.prevent default, and when user will already dropped that file or the image, so again first thing we need to prevent it, and after this what we'll do, simply we'll do const dropped file. So we'll do event dot data transfer, right? So this will give, and here you'll get the files of the 0th element, same thing. And here if this dropped file is true, so we'll do set image file will be this dropped file. Okay, now this is done. And if the image is already uploaded, in that case what we are going to render, we will be render some image related information. So here we will take a class name, and we'll do flex item center, justify we will do between, and inside this we'll take one more div. We'll take a class name, we'll do flex item center, and here I'm going to render a file icon. Okay, and let's take a class name. So we'll do width as 7, height as 7, let's make 8. We'll do text primary, and also we are going to do margin right of 2. Okay, after this what we will do, so we'll take one more paragraph, and here we are going to render the image file dot name, and here we'll take a class name, we'll do text small, and we'll do font medium, right? I think this will be fine. What else we can do, right? We can also add one more property to remove the file. So here after this we'll take a button, and inside this we'll add this X icon, and let's take a class name. So width of 4, height of 4, and after this we'll take a span, and we'll do remove file. But for this one we don't want to, so this will keep a class name of ASR only. Okay, now for this one, this button we are going to keep a variant of ghost, and we are going to pass a size as icon. We'll take a class name, so we'll do text muted foreground, and for hover we are going to do text foreground. Okay, and on click we are going to do handle remove image. Okay, so now let's copy this, and we'll create this. So function handle remove image. So what we'll do, right, to remove this one, simply to set this will be null, and also if this input ref.current is present, so it will do, simply will do input ref.current.value, this will be, we can make this one empty. That's it. Now let's save it and see what is happening. Okay, something is happening here. Let's see, any error or anything, because we need to check what we are getting in this image file. Okay, this is coming undefined. Okay, something is wrong here, that we need to check. Okay, something we are doing wrong here, is it? Let's see. Selected file, set image file is not a function. Okay, the problem is here, but why it is coming set image file is not a function? Oh, see, this we have done set file, that is the reason. So this has to be image file. Okay, this is the problem. Okay, that's why. Now I think this should work, so let's see. Okay, so we are getting this one, and also this is the icon, and also if I close this, we are getting this. Awesome. And also if I just quickly show you, right, so let's go to my folder Udemy, and then let's go to video, YouTube, project, and then if I try to, let's say, drag and drop, it's working, right? Drag and drop, it's working, and if you remove, it's working. Awesome job. Now I think this part is done, and let's close, open, select, and this is working. Awesome. So now the file handling part is done. So first we are going to create the backend logic for this image upload. So once the image is uploaded to our Cloudinary, we'll be getting image URL, and based on that we are going to create our product schema and other controllers. Okay, so let's do that in the next part. Alright, so let's start uploading the image. So first thing what you need to do, right, you need to create a Cloudinary account, and then you need to log into console. Now this is extremely straightforward. Just log in using your email, or direct you can log in through Google also. Once you do that, you need to choose the SDK. We are going to use Node.js, and if you remember, we already installed this Cloudinary package also, as much I can recollect. Let me just check once. So we have this package already installed. Okay, now the main interesting thing is that what you need the cloud name, the API key, and the API secret key. This is to basically configure. So what we'll do, right, if we go to this view API keys, I'll be getting all the information here, right? So the first thing what I'm going to do, so we'll be going to the server side, and then here inside this I'm going to create. So first let's create a config or like config folder or helpers, whatever. Let's do helpers, right? And inside this I'm going to create Cloudinary.js, and let's do everything step by step. So the first thing, you need this Cloudinary. So this will be require, and we are going to use this version v2. Also we have already installed the package Multer, so we also need the same, right? Now we need to config this one, so we'll do Cloudinary.config, and here you need to pass the cloud name, and these all you need to pass. Okay, so I'm going to copy this. Again, everyone, please don't use like what I'm using. Obviously we are going to change this one, we are going to replace all of this with environment variables, but I'm highly suggest like don't use this one. Okay, try to create your own, and that is going to definitely help you, and it's pretty simple. Just create the account and that's it. Also you need the API secret key 3. Okay, so I'm going to copy this, and then we are going to paste it here. So this is the first thing you need. Now second thing what we are going to do, right, you need to create a storage instance or variable. So I'm going to create storage, and here I'm going to create a new multer.memory storage we are going to use. Okay, and then I'm going to create a function. So we'll do async function, and we'll do handle, we'll do async function, and we'll do handle image upload. Right here I'm going to getting the file, and I'll do const result. This will be await Cloudinary. So this will give you this uploader.upload method, and this will take a file. Okay, and also you can pass some options. So file, I'm going to pass the file, our image file that we are going to receive, and we are going to pass a resource type, which I'll keep this one as auto. That's it, and then we just need to return this result. Now again, first we have basically created this Cloudinary config, created the storage using Multer, and then a function which will return the result. Okay, After this, what you can do, you need to create, I'll create upload, and then I'm going to use the multer instance, and I'm going to pass the options. Now here what you're going to do, you're going to pass that storage that you have created, right? So this one, let's give this spelling, and at the end what we are going to do, simply do module dot exports. So I'm going to pass both this upload, and also we're going to pass this handle image upload, this util that we have created, this one, because this we need to use. Okay, so this is all about the first step. This is one of the first step that we need to do. Next, we need to basically need a API route, right? So that we'll be able to hit it from our front end. So to do this one, we need to again create a controller. So inside controllers, I'm going to create a folder. I'm going to give this one now name as admin. So all the admin related controller we are going to create here. And here I'm going to give this one as products controller.js. Okay, and let's start with our image upload. So we'll do handle, let's change this name. I think we'll give image upload util. Okay, and here I'm going to give this one as handle image upload. So we'll do async request comma response. Now here we'll take a try catch, and here first we'll log this, and after this we will just do some message like let's do res.json, and then we'll do a success as false, and we'll render some message like error occurred. Okay, in the try block what we need to do, right? So here we need to first convert this to a base 64. So we'll take buffer dot from. So here what we'll get the request dot file dot buffer, and then we are going to do toString, and here we need to convert this one to a base 64. Okay, once this is done, after this we'll get the URL. So URL will be, so here we'll do data, right, plus we have request dot file dot meme type, and plus what we are going to do here, we are going to pass base 64 comma, and then we are going to pass this base 64 that we have created here, and after this we'll do const result, and here we are going to pass await, and you can see we have created this image upload util, and here we are going to pass this base 64. Okay, and once this is done, we are going to do res.json, and here what we can do success is true, and here we are going to pass this result, let's say, which will be this result here. Okay, so this is done. Sorry, I think we need to pass the URL here, not the base 64, because this we are already using here. So this will be the process. Once this is done, we are going to do module dot exports, and we'll pass this handle image upload. Alright, now once this is done, now we need to create our routes, correct? So what we're going to do, right, inside this routes, I'm going to create another folder. Let's give this one as admin, and here I'm going to give products product. So we'll do products routes.js. Okay, so what we're going to do first, we need express, right? So this will be express, and here we need that handle image upload method that we have created, controllers admin and product controller, and here we need the handle image upload. Also we need one more thing, and that is we need the upload property also. So we'll go to require, and we need helpers cloudinary. So we have a upload utility that we have created. Okay, and now I'm going to create the route. So this will be router. Okay, first let me just create this. So we'll do const router, which will be express dot router, and then we'll do router dot post, let's give this one name as upload image. Okay, this will be the URL, and here we are going to call this upload method and we'll do a single upload, and I'm going to give the file name as my file. Okay, and then we need to basically tell that which handler we need to pass it here. So we are going to call this handle image upload, and this is done. So this is all the configuration that we need. Now once you've created this, again the same process, we need to go to our server and we need to call this. So we will give this one name as admin products router. Okay, and this will be require. So we'll go to routes, admin product routes, and let's give this one as, so we'll do app.use. so this will be /API/admin, and then for this one /products, correct, and for this one we're going to use this admin product router. That's it, and this is done. All right, now once